Test one, two. Zach, can you hear me? Test one, two. Zach, test one, two. Can you hear me, Zach? Test one, two. Test one, two. There we go.
Mhm. Good afternoon, everyone. We thank you for coming today to this Urban Affairs HOA and rent control will be discussed too by a few people who have come today. I am Senator Donzella James, and I'm joined by all the Urban Affairs members, as well as some House members who have been working on the same issue. So we want to come together today to make sure that we have a strong bill in January that will help all of the issues that you have brought forward to us over the past five hearings. Can you believe it? 5 hearings. And we still have to have more. We did introduce some legislation in this past session, and only one moved. The rest of them are stuck in committees. So it is also the study committee that I did pass on last year was given to rules, and I'm not a member, but I was invited by the chair, Brass, Senator Brass, who's doing a great job, and he wants to, but his concerns start on stopping the liens that will give a foreclosure. So I'm 100% for that. And I see that he's able to move this because Rules Committee, I said that's almost next to being the lieutenant governor of the governor, right? So he's the chair, and he's doing a great job. So I think we will first have a roll call by allowing each member to introduce themselves, and then also our House members, who, everything that happens in the Senate, if it passes, it has to go to the House, and vice versa. They pass it, and we have to work. So we work together as one unit. So thank you again for coming, and we're going to ask Senator Kemp to lead us in prayer. And after that, we'll start on this end, introducing ourselves. Number six. Okay, Slash.
Right, good afternoon. If we can bow our heads. Dear Lord, we come to you thankful for the awesome responsibility and privilege to serve the great citizens of this great state of Georgia. We ask that the work that we do here and continue to do throughout the year be favorable in your sight and provide relief and support to all those across this great state. We also ask that in a time of such tension and trouble that you release your awesome spirit of calmness on this state and this country. And we ask that you continue to give us the guidance that we need to serve our citizens. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Praise God. Thank you. Since you have the mic, you want to go on and just introduce yourself and then. Oh, okay.
I represent Senate District 38, which is here in Fulton County.
Thank you. Would you like to make a half a minute statement about the issue? No, you'll wait.
I'm going to wave. I'll just say that I am obviously, this is a full room of folks on Thursday during off session. So this is a very important topic. So very thankful to be here and thankful for you all to be here and look forward to hearing from you to hopefully bring some more regulation and relief around this issue.
Thank you. 5. Gotcha.
This is Senator Sheikh Rahman. I represent Senate District 5, which is part of Lawrenceville, Norcross, Tucker, Duluth, Lilburn, and glad to be with you all today. And I see so many folks you all coming. This is very important issues. I know for this committee and for you all to others, you wouldn't be here during the off session. And one of the things that I'm really bothering me, because I was looking on a newspaper, one of the article on September 5th, a copy I have to find out. The gentleman owes $2,000, a little bit over $2,200, and the HOA filed for foreclosure. This is crazy. It's insane. And I tell you, for the record, I'm going to go after, and this committee go after, we're not going to tolerate this kind of nonsense. If you're there, HOA owner, organization, there are a lot of good HOA in the state of Georgia. I don't want them to get blamed for some of few of you all trying to mess up the system. This will not gonna work, and we're gonna go after you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Mhm. She's number 7. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for everybody for their attendance. I'm Senator Kenya Wicks. I represent Fayette and parts of Clayton County. And like the sentiments of my colleagues, I've had the pleasure of already talking to some of my constituents. And some of my constituents are concerned. I have one constituent that's already have an assessment of $12,000 an HOA assessment fee. So this is dear to you all, and so we're just here to just continue to hear the concerns of our constituents. And thank you so much for having this this study committee.
Thank you. Mhm.
Good evening, everybody. Nice to see you all again. My name is Dory Henry, and I'm the Chief of Staff for Senator Donzella James.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Diego Santana. I'm her legislative assistant.
Thank you. Mr. Lucas.
Like to welcome all of you here. I'm David Lucas, represent Senate District 26, which takes in Bibb, Houston, Twiggs, Wilkerson, Hancock, Washington, and Johnson County. The reason that this bill did not get to the floor of the Senate is because people of other persuasions had controlled and denied it. Bring to mind, Dr. King made a speech. I never forget it. I saw it on television. He said, we as a people will get to the mountaintop, and I might not be there with you, but we will get there. We've been to the mountaintop. We are now hanging on the side of the mountain. And if you don't take grandmama, mom and daddy, your children, your cousins to vote, then that rope that we are hanging on that mountaintop will be cut, and we will end up at the bottom. We all understand what public service is. We all understand, and we've seen on television everything that's going on, from a pedophile trying to use the National Guard as the police in cities. We don't have to scream and holler. We can vote. And when we vote, we win.
Yeah.
And so just remember that.
Thank you, Senator Lucas, and the illustrious.
Thank-
I won't.
you.
I won't do any campaigning. They might put us out of here.
Thank
So,
you.
so let me stop. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you to my friend and our chair lady, Senator Donzella James, for convening this meeting today. And I serve on the Economic Development Committee. And I was on the committee when this bill, Senate Bill 108, was heard in committee. We spent an inordinate amount of time working on this legislation and perfecting the legislation. And I can tell you had inputs from Democrats as well as Republicans. And when the bill came out of committee, it was a unanimous vote. And that's unanimous as well as bipartisan vote because all Republicans and Democrats supported it. This bill should have come to the floor of the Senate. Unfortunately, it didn't. But thankfully, we have this upcoming legislative cycle to get this bill done. And I agree with what my other colleagues have said. We certainly need the voice of the public, your support to make this happen. I represent South DeKalb. I represent Henry County. in terms of corporate housing and of course corporate HOAs, Henry County is the #1 place in Georgia where more corporate communities been built than anywhere else. So this legislation is critical to me and to those that I represent. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And we have several of our members who gave their regrets, but they're looking at us right now. We're streaming, I believe. So we might have 3 others that will email me, and we'll try to put them on at that time. But we have our great members of the House who are very interested in this issue, and they have put legislation in as well on HOAs and on the high rent, enormous amount of rent that's doubling, tripling, and quadrupling before our very eyes when it's time to renew a lease. They have to pay twice as much, not 1,500, but 3,000 for these students who live right here. Most of them have metropolitan colleges and universities that they attend, and so now they're having to move out because they're way out. And then when their classes start at 8 a.m., they have to get back in. They have to leave home by 5:30 or 6 just to go to a class. We would like for them to be on campus, but if they can't be on campus, we definitely want to make sure they're very close by because we have to protect them, and we want them to have a safe place that's close to their university. So thank you very much. I call you my a delegation mate because we're in the same COB delegation. So please, attorney, will you please?
Good afternoon, everyone.
Do I have you? Yeah, 12.
Okay, 12, yeah. My name is Terry Cummings, and I'm the state representative for District 39, which is Mableton and Smyrna in Cobb County. And I really started working with Senator James on rent control. That's kind of like my baby. And even before I got elected, I was working with the Atlanta Housing Justice League, We Thrive at Riverside, and other various housing organizations on rent control specific issues. As you know, Senator James has had legislation introduced as well as Representative Taylor on the House side. And unfortunately, neither bill has gone anywhere. But that doesn't mean that we don't stop trying. Regarding the HOAs, I actually sit on the HOA board in my subdivision, but I was not aware of the many challenges that a lot of people face in HOAs because we just operate the right way when it comes to residents and collections and fines and everything that goes with it. And as far as I know, as long as we've been in existence, we've never foreclosed on someone, but so I have a little bit different perspective sitting on the other side of things because people that do pay and keep up, they want the amenities and they want the services, and it has to come from somewhere. But some of the horror stories that I've heard from even constituents out in my district that live in other subdivisions and what they have to deal with because one person won't leave or one person moves and they're still in power. And my subdivision is actually single homes, townhomes, and condos. And the president of the Condo Association years ago signed over their rights to collect from the commercial units below. So if you live in a condo in that kind of situation, that money is critical. So just some of the abuses, I don't know what the man got for doing it. I don't even know if he understood what he was doing. Unfortunately, he's deceased. And his wife, they were a very old couple. So we really think they were taken advantage of, but he should have never been able to sign any document on behalf of an entire community that gave away their legal and financial rights. So, those are the type of abuses, and then people have to spend thousands upon thousands of dollars trying to fight everybody to make it right. So that's kind of like my background and where I come from. But Senator James has worked very hard on this legislature. She's been working on the HOA legislation, just like the rent control legislation since I met her. And her heart is really, in this for the right reasons. It's as along with the other senators, we over at the House, it's almost like whoever can get it passed first, just to get it to the other side. But it's very difficult to get anything out of committee, and that's just our reality. But again, that doesn't mean that we don't stop trying. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Finally got the volume up. Thank you. And we have our other two members. Number one?
She's two.
Who's two?
Two, right?
Okay, go ahead.
All right. Well,
Representative.
good afternoon, and thank you, Senator James, Madam Chair, and members of the committee, and to my House members. Thank you for all and to all of the longstanding, resilient activists in this room and advocates. Y'all have been on this battlefield for a long time. Many faces I see and I recognize, I see the heads nodding. I am, so thank you. I am Representative Kim Schofield, representing House District 63, which covers south side of Atlanta, East Point, College Park, Hapeville, Union City, City of South Fulton, and I think I got everybody. I like to say I'm a state representative, so I represent everybody anyway. And most people who have housing issues are calling
Right.
us anyway. So thank you. So we have all been on this trek for a long time, and we're not going to give up until we get things done that are fair and equitable. I serve as the Secretary of the Urban Affairs on the House side. So this is something that we have really been on the Senate side working collaboratively to do the right thing for the right reasons. We're not gonna beg them. We're just gonna we're gonna hold them accountable. All right. I believe that housing is a human right. Homeownership is a blessing, and no system has the right to take that away from us.
Thank you.
Representative Viola Davis and Representative Sandra Scott, who couldn't be here because of work commitment, and I have authored many things of legislation. She'll talk more about that. But because we're serious about this. I personally have been bullied by an HOA. Bullied, because they think they bullies. Okay, but they don't know who we are. So we're here today to make sure that we're doing the best thing in the interest of Georgia. Senator James has led the way for a long time. We've stood on many housing rallies together. We get letters every week. I'm hearing stories and people that are just overwhelmed and don't have an answer. And so we're tired of not having answers. So we're going to do our best and continue to fight to push some legislation through to get it across the finish line. They can play partisan politics if they want to, but the issue is this is not an urban or suburban or rural issue. This is a people issue. And Georgia has to recognize this as a people issue and stop putting their head in the sand when it comes to housing, affordable housing, rent control, and making sure that home ownership is still a blessing in the state of Georgia. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Number three, right?
Right.
Okay. Thank you, Representative.
I want to thank everyone for coming. I'm Representative Viola Davis, and I serve House District 87 in DeKalb County, primarily in Tucker, Pine Lake, and Stone Mountain. I have spoken to a number of people this week, and I'm hearing some discouragement. I want people to know you only fail when you stop trying to win. And they're not going to win this fight. You have a number of persistents right on this panel. And I want to say to the chair lady, Donzella James, thank you for being persistent. And she used her committee to stand up for the people. it's important that we get your stories on the legislative record so that when it's time to pass this, nobody can say that it's not happening. So I turn it back over to you, Chair Lady.
I thank you very, very much for all your hard work to all of you. And even Sandra in her absence. You three have really been pushing fair and equitable practices for housing and for taxes. So thank you very much. We're going to get started now. We have a long list of speakers. We have some that had already RSVP'd and asked to be put on the list. So we'll exhaust that list before we get to the other names to sign. If you did not sign and you want to speak, please come up right now and sign because we're going to move forward very quickly. The first person that we want to call on is David Bozon. Is he here? Or his wife? Is his wife here?
Ma'am.
What does she say? Okay. Miss Jessica Novice. Okay. They have already sent statements, but we were asking them to please come and share it on the mic, but they have sent their concerns. Michael Sherrod Shepherd. I need my glasses on, don't I? Guess what I have? Sorry. And thank you very much for being here. You've been on this journey a long time, and I know it's Peyton Road.
Peyton Place.
Peyton Place?
Condominium right next to Peyton Village, but really same community, just legally split apart a few years ago.
And to tell you the truth,
Yeah.
I know exactly where that is because many years ago, my sister lived there with her 3 children. Then when she went to buy a house, she had someone renting it, but she was still paying all the fees.
Yeah.
And somehow things got mixed up. They took her house and sold it before she could even know about it and straighten it out
Yeah.
in those very same condominiums.
Well, the corruption has gotten worse, and hopefully,
That's what I heard. And,
Yeah.
and so I was, a few years ago when Margie, where are you, Margie? I know you're here. When Margie brought it to me, that's when I said it's time for legislation, but we're trying. So please give us your statement. I'm glad you're
Yeah.
here today.
You
You're
talked
expert.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you all. Hopefully you guys are tired of seeing my face. I'm tired
Yep.
of hearing my voice. I've been to so many of these meetings now, but hopefully I really feel the energy and that we're on the edge of success. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Michael Shepherd. Many of you have seen my story. Today, I'm not going to so much focus on my story other than say that it has been a journey. And to the people that thought I would get my victory and cut and run, I'm not doing that because I'm working with other communities right now, including Camelot. I'm working with them on launching and doing the same blueprint that I did, but I'm hoping we get legislation that the blueprint doesn't involve spending $30,000, $40,000.
Mhm.
I don't know when my breaking point was going to be. Maybe it already happened and I don't know it. I'm still going. But we definitely need legislation. And I came here today to really focus on the fact that whatever that legislation is, whether it be SB 107, SB 108, SB 361, I do know whatever is passed, it has to include enforcement. I'm
Mhm.
looking at other states, Florida, Utah, North Carolina, they have ombudsman. And guess what? They have the same exact issue.
I know.
They have the same exact issue before the legislation and after. And so I'm hoping that enforcement includes if they fail to register, which was discussed at the prior meeting on Tuesday, then those individual bad actors need to lose their right to be on the board. If I'm a barber, a cosmetologist, an electrician, if I don't comply with my registration and answering inquiries into complaints, I lose my license. And if I operate without my license, I'm going to be criminally charged,
Mhm.
right? So the same thing needs to happen on the HOA playing field as well. Also, if it goes that extreme where you have a belligerent HOA, because my HOA refused to even answer to the Fulton County Superior Court. Their lawyers weren't showing up. They were demanding that they submit answers to the
Yes.
questions the court had. They didn't respond, and they showed up trying to have cockamamie arguments. And luckily enough for me, I was diligent with my citation of the law, the bylaws, and I was lucky enough to have an HOA that was completely incompetent. They were corrupt, they were criminal, but they were also incompetent and, dare I say, stupid. And I'm only going to say this because I have this on tape. The president, Claire Cherry, told me on the phone. She's a Black woman, 7 years old. She told me, "Ain't no Black person ever make me shake in my boots," in reference to me saying, "Hey, if you screw me over, continue to screw me over and screw these people over, I'm going to take you down." And I have this on tape, and I will put this out there. She said, "Go ahead and try. Nobody who have ever tried to take me down have been successful." I'm looking in the camera, Claire Cherry, I have been successful.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I just have a quick announcement. Hopefully I'm allowed
Yes,
to announce this.
go ahead.
There's a professor here, not here today, but she's come to these meetings. Her name is Amanda Dutton. She's
Yes.
agreed to co-found with me what I believe is the first group that we're working out the legal details now, but it'll either be a 501c4 or a political action committee, because we will be providing education and also doing political contributions, because this issue, it needs to be pushed. I feel we're on the tail end. And to those of you who are listening to us, we want to support you, push the right thing through, and we know that's hard. A lot of times there's a lot of factors at play behind the scenes, but we want to be able to contribute to your campaigns and to make sure that you stay on the right course, because I appreciate that.
I don't know if we need to
Yeah.
say that
Yeah.
in here. Y'all trying to get me
Yeah.
put out.
Yeah. So, and then lastly, I'll say to Representative Schofield, thank you for your kind words on the report that came out on 11 Alive with my issue. I really appreciate that. I'm not a crier. I almost cried. So thank you for your kind words. And I love having that kind of encouragement. And to the people that I'm going to be working with at Camelot, the same thing could be done. I've done it, and hopefully, other people don't have to spend that kind of money, and they'll have the HOA oversight committee that we need. So thank you all.
That's what we're
Appreciate it.
definitely trying to do, the oversight.
Yeah.
So you won't have to pay enormous amounts to lawyers.
And most lawyers won't work with you.
I know. It's
And
very
the ones
difficult.
that will, unfortunately, a lot of them aren't on the up and up. I've had that conversation with many people since Tuesday where that went left. I feel a lot of people are being taken advantage of, trying to get HOA reprieve. So
Thank
you
you.
all. Yeah.
Thank you. Any questions, anyone? No, thank you. Yes, one. Okay, number 3. Right?
Yes. Thank you so much for your testimony.
Yeah.
My question for you is, how do you feel about the management companies? We're really focusing on the HOAs. Do you think that we need to have some changes with how the management companies are addressing a number of the homeowners?
I've thought about that issue more than ever in the past 2 days, because there was an individual who was at that event who mentioned property management companies, which are for-profit entities, and the HOA, as we know, are nonprofit. They are an issue, and my personal advice on that is, I don't know if I would combine it with the HOA board situation. And I only say that, not that I don't think those actors aren't bad in that field. There's a lot of predatory behavior just as your HOA board, but still there's a lot of stories where these property management companies are dipping, their hands in the cookie jar illegally. I just think that there's a misunderstanding. The property management companies, no matter how powerful you think they are, they work at the behest of the HOA board. Now, there are a lot of board members who, they've taken a back seat, and you have property managers telling the HOA board what to do, but the HOA board, the power rests with them. You could fire a bad property manager overnight. So every complaint about a bad property management company, I can guarantee you there is a person on the board allowing that. There is no single board that says this property management company is horrible, they're abusing us, and we can't do anything. That is not a thing that exists at all. So that's my 2 cents on that issue.
Thank you. And one other question, number what?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
Have y'all, what about self-management? Have y'all, she. So have y'all explored the option of self-management?
Okay, so all of the corruption that happened prior, from my understanding, we have not had a property management company in almost a decade, and the company that did service us, I think they stayed with us for a few months, and they probably saw like, hey, we're not dealing with this. And in reference to potentially working with one, during my campaign to overthrow that corrupt HOA board, I would say 90% of every property management company said, we're not trying to involve ourselves in this. This is messy, this is nasty. And then I said, I get that. By the time you come in, I'm hoping to clean up the work. And so by the time you roll in, it's an easier situation. They still said no. And I have a very thorough list of those companies that said no. Now that I'm actually in power, for those that don't know, the Fulton County Superior Court placed me in power because we had an election and the board said, we're not honoring your election. And they wouldn't provide proof of why they wouldn't do that. And so that's why I say you actually need an enforcement piece, because everything that we're talking about doing, it's null and void if there's no enforcement. It's null and void.
Correct.
So once again, that's the key piece. And with the property management piece, I'm hoping to get us into a state where we're completely cleaned up. We are self-managed now, but that's not doable for, honestly, I'm going to probably say the vast majority of HOAs, because people work, people have lives. There's a lot of people who are retired who have the time, but they don't want to, find a landscaper, find a handyman, deal with the accounting piece. I do have that time right now because I'm working for myself, but I'm not always going to have that time. So I want to be in a position where the finances are cleaned up. We use a software called Pay HOA, which is for self-managed organizations. So, I mean, people have that option if they want to self-manage. They could end the contract with a property management company at any time. It's just that a lot of people, they love the convenience of a property management company. So, yeah. Yeah.
Thank you very much. And we will make sure that all of your information
For
is
sure.
in our notes.
Yes.
You put it on public record. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Oh, wait, one more question. Oh, sorry. Number 12.
good.
Okay, I got you.
Put you in the position to be in charge.
Yes.
But is that because the residents voted for you and the board ignored that vote? Or is that because the court just said you're the plaintiff, so therefore we're putting you in charge?
No, so I had a long list of complaints, not getting finances, it's condominiums,
Right.
deferred maintenance, all of that. And so I got tired of waiting for years for them to do something. And I said, enough is enough. We had a special meeting. So we went by our bylaws. In our bylaws, and most people's bylaws, it states the parameters for having a special meeting without the board of directors. I did everything to the T. Like I drove to every part of the Atlanta Metro I've never been. Snellville, Austell, Tequila, Brazelton, places I'm going to butcher and mispronounce. I drove there to find these owners who didn't live there to make sure we could get a quorum for that special meeting. We had that special meeting, invited the board of directors. We voted them out. We voted a new board, which included myself in. They said, well, we're not honoring that. And we said, well, give us the proof, because they said, people owed HOA fees. Some people claimed they paid their HOA and they refused to give that to the attorney and even to the court. They refused to give any evidence of their claims. And so that is how I got into power. So I'm not like a court-appointed receiver.
No,
which
no,
many,
no. But
yeah.
you were voted in by.
I was voted in, and then
Yeah,
looking
that's
at the
how-
merits of the
Yes,
case.
I was asking.
Yeah, so that's how I was placed on the board. through the
Yeah, okay,
court.
thank
Yeah.
you.
We appreciate it, and everybody was supposed to have 3 minutes, and we've been talking to you
Blame
for
you
over
all.
10 minutes. But yeah, it was questions,
Yeah.
so you've
Yeah.
answered it, and I appreciate the
Yep.
comments.
Appreciate it. So
Thank
if
you.
anyone is going through the same thing, please take my card before you leave. I'm more than happy to help.
Thank you, thank
Right.
you, thank you.
My name is Shirley Thompson.
If you want to.
Clark County.
Although this is,
just wanna piggyback on
we're
what
gonna
Michael-
wave the rules and let you
Okay.
do that,
30
because
seconds, I promise. I just want to piggyback on what Michael said. My name is Shirley Thompson. I'm in Clark County, a prior board member. And I sent a letter out last night, so all you guys got it, but you probably didn't read it. I think one of the representatives did. It's pretty much speaking to what Michael says. If there's no HOA enforcement at the highest level, anything that we're doing now is not going to matter. I mean, these people don't even know the regulations in the bylaws, so they're not gonna recognize state or federal laws. They don't care. They don't do anything. So we need somebody at the highest level. I don't know where. Is it in the State Department? I mean, you know, the Secretary of State, or is it the?
We are working on that.
'Cause otherwise
And we
that's-
did have the Secretary of State did come to the Rules Committee that is also looking at these issues. And he brought one of the directors from the Secretary of State's office. My Osbusman bill was going to be something where everybody could come and if they had a concern or a question about their personal property. Well, she gave us another coming to the Secretary of State's office to her, under her directive. And she gave them rather, because she didn't show up today, but she sent me a copy of her talking points. So I'll share that if we get a chance today.
Okay, but please take the time and read.
But you're right.
That I sent last.
And we really appreciate it, but it's really about everything. You know, I probably passed so many bills during my tenure, and they don't even enforce all of them, especially a lot of the driving laws. Until somebody dies, and then it gets on the news, and all of a sudden somebody think it's a brand new law. But thank you. Next person, Karen Thompson. Thomas. I'll do it right next time. I'll put the glasses on. So but yes, Karen, please. You have 3 minutes, please.
Just a package that I made some copies of. I want to give you the colored copies so you can see them as they.
You can give them to her too.
So that y'all can look at it on the up end. Thank you so much.
So this is individual ones, or this is the pack for me, the chair?
They're individually, they're stapled together, and I'm just gonna rattle through them.
Go ahead. Yes, ma'am.
Rattling through.
Thank you very much.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I appreciate it. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Fine. Okay, thank you very much. My name is Karen Thomas. I am a resident in the Woodstone South condominium community that's located in Clayton County, Georgia, in the city of Morrow. Okay. And so I'm coming before you. I've come before you before. I think I've come since 2023 when you began, and I'm still here now. So we have made some progress, and it's thanks to the senators, the state reps who listen to the complaints, the challenges that we're having. So I'm going through the challenges that we're having at this point. If you go through the first 2 stacks of documents, they're identical, they're for you to keep. The first are the Secretary of State's filing from 2025, as far back as I was able to print, to 2014. If you look in the lower left-hand corner, you will see that the exact same board members have been putting themselves in place since 2014 when I came on record in those Secretary of State documents. No voting, no reading of prior minutes to a vote, none of that. We're just gonna install ourselves every year as the officers, okay? I purchased in 2018. Since 2018, I've learned that those who start out with you may not end up with you. And you look up and you'll be standing by yourself. But I'm never alone. I'm never alone. Okay, so on those Secretary of State documents, this individual who is the board member is so determined to maintain an almost autocratic control over the community. If you look at the next document, to email, and that email is a conversation I had with a City of Morrow police detective. The name Thomas Johnson that you see on the board document, on the Secretary of State filing, I had the City of Morrow do a wellness check on Mr. Johnson. Mr. Johnson is not only incapacitated, he's under a nurse's care, and his son has power of attorney over his affairs. So how he can hold 2 positions, chief financial officer and secretary, but you're incapacitated. That's how much they want to maintain control over a $320,000 annual budget.
Hold
Okay,
on one
the money
moment.
is
Let's ask the lawyer on the end if he can, is that legal? Yeah, we have to see the documents because it should say that if you become incapacitated, that
The
you
bylaws?
forfeit the seat or something. Yes, the bylaws. You have them? Do you have?
Of course, I have them. I can go back over them. I did not think to go from an angle of whether or not being incapacitated would automatically disqualify you as a board member.
Mhm.
But now I have that on my mind to go back and look over. So thank you very much for that.
And since you have 30 seconds left,
I got 30
let
seconds
me just
left.
ask my other
Okay,
one
so
question.
Let's go down to, I wanted you to see the part where skip the budget documents because they speak for themselves. I'm not a math person. I'm allergic to numbers. I do. Can you see the difference? Can you spot
I
the difference? That's
understand.
all
Go
I can
ahead.
work with. The document after that, I need for you to see because when I contacted the management company, Century Management, which we all deal with,
Mhm.
I inquired about the roads and the response I got back was, we, the board, we don't even know who owns the roads. Our community was developed in 1972. You don't know who owned the roads? Okay, so I contacted the county, spoke with the county. The county made it clear, unless your roads are dedicated to the city or to the county at its development stages, then you are responsible for those roads. So we're responsible for the roads, get it? So if you look back in the pictures, you'll see what the roads look like.
Yeah.
You'll see that there's a picture, the sticky note that's sticking out. That is where the board member, the lone member who is the autocrat, she will fix up the board members' properties. That's what you're looking at. You're looking at new patio fences for the board members' properties. If you flip to the next page, you're gonna see what our fences look like. You will see a hole in the ground right there on that ledge where you won't even spend $10 for a bag of cement. But the board members got new patio fences. So
This is unacceptable anyway.
at any
Aren't they
rate,
responsible for it? What does it
Correct.
say in your, when you sign your covenant?
they're responsible for all the paving. We've done all that. We've spelled it out. You know what you're responsible for. Okay. The other documents you'll see is a list of the property owners that the board members own. And then there's another list that you'll see that the LLCs own.
So these people do not live in the complex?
The board members don't live in our community. And that is why I'm here. We need a law that says unless you live in the community, you can't be on the board. It's just that simple.
We did try to put that in, but I think they said, I'll talk to you about it later.
I appreciate it.
They are looking at it, but we are concerned about that. Can we make sure we put that down again?
It's
so that-
absolutely necessary because when it comes to con artists and criminals, they're not thinking of doing things right.
No.
They think
And so these three people who continue to put their names down as board members.
Yes, they do.
Have you seen them before? Have they?
I've
do
only
they-
seen one, and that's Boss Lady. That's what the landscapers call her, Boss Lady. One little long
And she
white lady
doesn't-
that lives in Stockbridge, 70-some years old. Okay, the other ones, I've never seen you before. However, you own a combined number of properties enough so to carry the vote. And if the LLCs ain't showing up, we still lose the vote.
So the LLCs own property as well?
Yes, ma'am.
So you're a POA or you're a HOA?
We're an HOA.
You're right. As long as they have no enforcement, this is why this is why we're here today.
Now, it was
so
a
that we
good
can
thing, I'm sorry,
go ahead.
that the governor did sign HB 399, which requires out-of-state owners to secure or employ in-state property managers. You are no longer allowed to manage your property from out of state.
When did he do that?
That's July 1, 2025, HB 399.
Oh, that bill. Yeah, that was over HB, yeah, House.
Yes, I'm sorry, House Bill 399.
And it had a lot of flaws in it. A lot of holes in that bill. Loopholes that they can get around. But it didn't, it came to us and since it had passed overwhelmingly in the House, they followed suit over, even though I voted against it. Only for that reason. I saw 3 or 4 things that I thought were excellent.
Okay.
But then when there were 19 other ones that I knew would cause problems, I voted against it.
Okay.
They talked about me. How you gonna be for HOAs? Are you gonna? So anyway,
It
they want you to vote for one thing out of all of that.
I
And
guess it was
so
only
we,
helpful to the extent where I was able to send out a memo to those out-of-state owners. But if you look at the property listing, some of those LLCs are dissolved.
oh my, okay.
Yes.
And then it's another thing. Most of that bill was supported by some people who were agriculturists and owned some property, farmland or whatever. And also most of those people who supported it, those different condominiums, most of them had the same management company.
Yeah. Like us.
They have like 20 different HOAs that they serve. And they're doing the same predatory problems. So that's why we're here today. We're gonna look at all of this. Thank you. And did you say you had something to say? And then the 3 minutes end up being.
I'm sorry.
No,
15.
I was just gonna make you aware that there was a court case that did give a final judgment that you have to live in that HOA in order to be on the board.
Okay.
One of the people who came here won their case, and that was one of the judgments that they received, that you have to be living within the HOA to be on the board.
But I think that's isn't that the problem over at the Landmark downtown? For those condominiums, so they are not going by the law. We'll talk.
Nobody.
Okay, you can get it she's gonna send it to me, and please see Diego or Dory or myself, and we'll
Enough
get it.
to end.
We're in room 121 in the Capitol.
The only recourse we have is to sue. That's it. Other than, if we don't have an enforcement, the only recourse you have is to sue them out of there. They're not gonna walk away. You can't shame them away. You can't away.
You're suing yourself.
And you're suing yourself. And you have to know the right action to file. Otherwise, Mr. Shepherd, I believe they spent over $40,000 in attorney's fees. I don't have $40,000. I'm a senior citizen.
I know, and it was a young man yesterday.
And Social Security is gonna be around when this is all said and done. But I have a house and I'd like to keep it.
That's right, your American dream, right?
Yes.
Keep your home. We're doing what we can to help. The next person is Nikki Cruz. Nikki Cruz, who has been working so hard for a few years, and it seemed to get worse, but some things have gotten better.
Does it matter where I sit?
Sit right there, that's
Okay,
fine.
thank you. All right. Well, hello, everyone.
Hello.
Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you.
My name is Nikki, and I am a homeowner at the Landmark condominium. And this is going to do some beer of repeatings as well. And feel free to chime in if you have questions. I will definitely answer them. I've actually been at this venture for over 4 years. Prior to me, there was a homeowner and a couple of homeowners, but Judy Clement, who died fighting this battle. And I want to make sure that I point that out. And Judy died last year, June 18th of 2024. And what's been heartbreaking is that we recently buried another homeowner's husband. And the last words that he said to us was, "When is this going to be over?" Because we had his wife, she was with us more than she was with him, and he was an invalid. So that's something that, we will grapple with, but we just buried him 2 Saturdays ago.
So sorry.
Thank you, and I'll let her know. So the bottom line with the Landmark condominium is that we have an Airbnb takeover. We have a board that none of them live in the building, have ever lived in the building. We have a board president they own multiple units, multiple. And what's interesting about that is in our bylaws, you have to live in the building in order to be on the board. So what they've managed to do, and this is something that I've said about the attorneys, the attorneys write the laws, and the laws are created to circumvent or get around so that they have those holes to get out of. Then we have to hire an attorney to fight the attorney that we're paying our HOAs for.
Mm-hmm.
And then turn around and we lose money there. So we're all out. So out of the several homeowners of us that have spent money, we've spent most over $175,000 in excess, just to fight these people. The board prior to them filed a lawsuit against this group and warned this is what they were going to do. They warned. We have seniors in the building that are frightened to death. This has been my job now going on August 1st, 4+ years. I'm going into my 5th year just for this alone. As long as the state of Georgia has dragged their feet, taken their time, and until it happens in their backyard, then all of a sudden it's a problem. Then it's a problem. Not because it is happening where your constituents and we're saying, please help us. We've been to the police. We've been to every office in this jurisdiction, and we were passed over. We were looked over. We were dismissed. We are homeowners. We now have a building where it is operating as a motel. I give back to ballet classes to kids that can't afford it on Saturdays. That's what I do. And I came home from studying some choreography. There were some girls twerking in front of my unit, twerking. When I leave my apartment, I turn on my camera. I leave the building, but I'm recording every single way. When I come back, it is the same thing. We all have doorbell cameras on our doors now. We never had that. You came over to visit, it's like, okay, come on in, let yourself in. The doors are locked. We have cameras inside of our units now because we have an unlicensed Airbnb manager who threatens us. If you don't give us a key, there's a fine. I helped a neighbor move a chair. I received a $1,500 fine. It wasn't my chair either. Helped her move the chair. She ended up sending them the letter and said, listen, it was my chair. She said, stay out of it. So the board has given them permission, this woman permission to mistreat us in the manner that she does. So let me go on and add on to it. January 17th, 2024, we had a near fatal fire. We were outside in 17-degree weather. That week was the coldest week of January. A MARTA bus was kind enough to allow us to sit in there around 3 o'clock in the morning. We finally made it back in the building at 4. The fire took place in the Airbnb office, a private space with a private company. The Airbnb person, the STR person, whichever name you want to hide them under, is the board president. Her unit, her office. They own over 40 units in the building. They manage several others. As homeowners, they have no respect for us. They don't acknowledge us. They don't talk to us. It is about fines. We have a new security system that is a fail. People are walking in our buildings as they will. That is what it is. We have prostitution, drugs. We've been on the news more than you can count. I can write a book. We had a real estate agent who mentioned and advertised that the Landmark was a cash cow, a juggernaut. Come and invest here. We have no rental restrictions. We do. We're residents. We live there. Our HOAs per month, over $1,300. For what? A double billing of water because they are constantly washing clothes and linens. $1,300 a month. I think the least is $900. But it's a double billing of water, electricity. We have no security. Concierge doesn't even acknowledge us. They've made changes in the building, as I said before, with a butterfly system that was totally irrelevant. We have fobs. The Airbnb people, the hotel people that come into that building, they have more rights than we do. In the building, they will house 8 to 10 people in a unit. We have the evidence. We've provided that to the Senate, the city, the state. We've given it to everybody. But yet and still, when we go to the police, then the first thing they say is it criminal? Yes, it's criminal. Absolutely. People have died in the building. Someone was thrown out of the window of the stairwell. There were shootings, stabbings. But yet and still, here we are going into the 5th year talking about the same thing. They filed liens. There's a defamation suit that they filed against me and several other homeowners because we spoke out. So what they did was they sent a xenophobic package because we spoke at city council. We didn't say anything unrepresentative of what we're saying, what was happening. So they sent us a xenophobic package, dead bodies, lynched bodies, a dead woman. That's what they sent first. A few weeks later, then they sent a defamation lawsuit. So at this point, I'm burying my parent. So I get to city council, the servicer is not able to serve me, forgive the redundancy and play on words. So my first thing is, you should come to city council. You'll find me there. You can serve me right in front of them. If you want to do this, we can do it in public. Come to city council. I'll be there. So city council, someone from city council helped him serve me. They pointed out where I was. I stood at the podium. I spoke. I turned around. He stood up and he said my name. He says, "You've been served." So I turned around to city council and I said, "Congratulations. I've been served." A defamation suit for speaking out. Now, again, if it were slanderous, I would understand that. It is not. We are homeowners.
You've been speaking almost 10 minutes, but we're allowing
Thank
it
you.
because we need to hear all of this.
Yes, and
but-
I do apologize. So, and my intention is not to monopolize the time. It's just that we get to speak and we get rushed a lot of times. And after all, you start forgetting what you want to say and then all of that. But I will close with the distressing of the building. Right now, we're in a federal lawsuit due to that fire. And it's something that again, and we're being held liable now for the insurance. Our insurance has gone up, maybe I think over to $600,000. So now they've actually done an assessment. The assessment didn't pass, so now they made it a capital assessment. So now they're trying to force the homeowners to pay that. The fire was not our fault. The federal lawsuit is for fraud. The board for fraud. We are not liable for that. We didn't force their hands. But this is where we are. We're now in the building, 1 elevator works. We have 200 units and very few homeowners left. 200 units. We knew each other. We helped each other. We took care of each other. We have 200 units and there are very few of us left. And people that are hiding in the back, they're afraid. Not because they don't want to speak, they're scared. My point is, if anything happens to me, I disappear, I become sick, incapacitated, I die. I hope to God you guys do the research and find who did it. Because these are the type of people that we're dealing with on this board. These are the type of people. And an unlicensed Airbnb property manager. And you get to abuse me. If I did anything remotely to this capacity, I would be arrested. So let's talk about it. There's no enforcement that has to happen, and it has to be stringent. And that's where Atlanta has failed us. They have failed. The state of Georgia has failed. And this should have not have gone on this long. If one person, one constituent complained, I don't care if it's in your jurisdiction, in your backyard, down the street, up the hill, and around the corner. If somebody complains, it is worth investigating.
I agree.
We are important. We are. We pay our
Thank
taxes.
you. And let me tell you, we have one of the members who couldn't make it today, Senator Freddie Power Sims. She owns one
He
of the
does.
condominiums, and she has told me about all of that. And the lady who died, she brought her to
did.
a meeting 2 years ago.
Judy Clement, yes.
And she had sold her, when her husband died, she sold her big house in Buckhead and moved there
Moved
because
to
it's
Atlanta.
downtown
That is
Atlanta.
correct.
And she and others had moved in as well, other widows.
Yes.
And unfortunately, all of them had to leave long before she left. and some of them left to go on,
Yes.
move on. But they all complained about it then. And we still have about 9 legislators that own
That is
the property.
correct.
They're trying to sell it. Even the senator who was on the committee with Senator Brass. the
Gerald
other day.
Green, is it Gerald Green?
Ed Harbison.
Yes.
He's the
Yes.
dean of the Senate.
And see, that's unfortunate.
And he said he had to, because he lives in Columbus. A lot of them live all over
Elsewhere.
the
That is
state,
correct.
and they have to be here every morning from January to maybe late
It's
April.
made the landmark
So-
beautiful and historical. The building is gorgeous, has fantastic
Yes.
bones. These people are distressing the building on purpose. On purpose, to the point where, again, we have one elevator, and we're constantly waiting, and they're just trying to say, well, it's maintenance. It's not maintenance. It is them. We have constant leaks. It is them, and we hate to say it because we never had this problem before. And if you take care of the building will live. In New York, I'm from New York. We have older buildings. If you go overseas to Europe, they have fantastic.
yes,
There's no
yes.
reason why this has to take place, but this is how this building is being operated. But they're distressing the building on purpose because, again, if they make the building unlivable, unaffordable, unattractive, we will sell our units to them, and we'll go away. And now they will have the building, which is what it appears that there seems to be a systematic game in play that they want to take this building over.
They have told me it's foreign entities that
That is
have
correct.
come together that were corporations who are trying to buy
Yes.
your big building as well as so many others that are in the downtown area or midtown area.
Yeah.
So it's under our radar, but it's just a few of us who are trying to really think about this and
Yes.
get with our legislative council with all the lawyers. And then we have a lot of lawyers who are now in the House and Senate. So this is something that has not gone unnoticed.
And I appreciate that. I do want to say this too, because what has been profound that we really notice is that there are lawyers that are working part of CMA.
Oh, yeah.
And then so they're splitting the difference. It's almost a double dipping thing. And then so now again, you have these attorneys coming after the homeowners. And even when Senator Brass mentioned, a $4,000 cap, that's not enough. That's not enough
Thank
because
you.
these people I have so many fines on me, frivolous fines
Mhm.
on me that
I know.
I have a lien on my property. There's several of us that have liens on our properties just for that reason. And
Let me
it's-
ask one last question
may
because
ask
I
anything
know we
you
gotta
like. Sure.
stop, but is it true that if you have liens against you, that they won't accept your monthly dues, the money?
and
so-
then they're going to
and
foreclose.
yeah, because then is money they say you didn't pay.
That is correct.
But
That is
you
correct.
couldn't pay, you paid it and they sent it back.
But even if you didn't pay, there are owners that actually created escrow accounts because we don't have
yes.
financial transparency. And at this point, when we've asked multiple times, as well as send demand letters, so you have homeowners that the money's off to the side. We've already alerted you. What would you like to do? And that's where we are. So again, the law does not stand behind us as homeowners. Again, we're taxpayers. We follow the law. We do everything right. It's almost as if you have a particular group of legal type of group writing the laws for the criminals, and it's just a nice circle. It's a nice circle.
I appreciate your comments.
I appreciate your
And they
time.
will be noted.
I do appreciate it. Thank you all of you.
And
Thank
I probably need to talk to you like next week when I'm looking at all of this.
You definitely can.
Because I thought of 3 things that we need to do.
I am at your disposal.
Because everything is not going to be resolved with legislation. There are other ways to control some of this, and that's what I'd like
Well,
to
you
talk.
know what? You have a fantastic team of people back here, and we're all together on it, and we have full intentions of helping you fight this cause with or without you, because the homeowners deserve to come home and be at home and be at peace.
Home sweet home.
That's what we deserve, and we're going to get it, and we're going to figure it out, but we'll make it happen. I do appreciate your time. Thank you all of you.
Welcome. Loretta Simpson. And while you're coming up, the next person is Margie McLeod, but how many people are here about the rent control? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So when Margie comes up, I like for y'all to speak because everybody else was here for HOAs or COAs or, PPAs or POAs rather. So as soon as Margie comes up. Thank you very much, Miss Loretta Simpson.
Thank you, Senator Donzella James. I appreciate this opportunity to speak. My name is Loretta Simpson. I reside at Jeff Davis in Town Condominiums in Fayetteville, Georgia. And I want to paint just a little bit of a different picture. I came to Fayetteville by West Africa, the Gambia. I had an aunt who was a real estate investor in New York who is now 88 years old and was having some health issues and begged me to return. So I bought my unit sight unseen. And surprisingly, when I got there, I noticed a deterioration of the complex. So I paid cash for my place and was quite shocked when I got there. So upon observation, I met some board members. I discovered that 5 of the board members were actually renters and not homeowners. And I had an invite to a board member's home. And when I got there, they had a big thing of dope and they were taking shots. And they said, well, do you get high? I said, absolutely not. So I left and I said, these are the people managing 6 figures of money. I was concerned about it. And then one evening in the wintertime, I couldn't wrap my brain around what I just witnessed. So I decided to take a walk at 9 or 10 o'clock at night. And I saw the HOA president in the corner somewhere and a pile of some kind of drug smell. And he was beating his head with his eyes closed. And I said, oh my goodness, what is going on here? And I said, are you all right? And he said, well, I'm looking for a cat. And I said, okay, these are the people that's running the board. So I said, I have 37 years of experience in public policy. I work with Mayor Joseph P. Riley in Charleston, South Carolina at the Centers for Livable Communities. I went to Africa and served. I went to Europe and served. I served in the United States Air Force. I did corporate compliance and investigative background for fraud, waste, and abuse. This was the most egregious fraud, waste, and abuse that I had experienced. There was a memo coming out. I asked the board for my governing documents and declarations. The management company at that time was Century Management Company. They refused to give me those documents. I had to get a lawyer just to get the documents. And then I had to force an election that had never taken place ever in the history of this organization. And Century had managed it for well over 17 years. And so when we forced this election, I said, effective immediately, I wrote to the Secretary of State, the Office of Attorney General, the Inspector General. I was writing anybody I could to bring some awareness to this situation. And so what I discovered was that, okay, Century, this is fraud, waste, and abuse and racketeering. We have several things into play happening here. We have a management company. We have an attorney representing the management company. It wasn't signed by an HOA member. And then you have a law firm and an insurance company. The insurance was $65,000 last year. And just 2 years ago, it was $23,000. So when I started asking questions and I looked at the ledger and I said, how did insurance go from $65,000 to $23,000? Well, from $23,000, excuse me, to $65,000. And there was some damage done to their clubhouse. So when I called the insurance company, which was Dreher Insurance, I said, well, Mr. Dreher, I'm concerned here because I see that there was a claim loss report that was done for some damage to the clubhouse and pool. You received a payment for that and you were paid. So I called Atlantic Pool Company and said, hey, Atlantic Pool Company, you received money from insurance to fix this pool 2 years ago. Why didn't you fix it? And the guy sent an email and it was just total transparency with everybody involved. At this point, I'm now serving as the HOA board president, having these conversations. And Atlantic Pool Solutions owner said, I never received that kind of money. As a matter of fact, I was 9 months behind, so I canceled my contract. And it made a whole lot of sense to me that he did that. So I asked Mr. Dreher, can you send me the claim loss report on our community so I can take a look at why our insurance is so high? He refused, but I said, Mr. Dreher, I see in the general ledger, I've gotten all our bank accounts that You took a loan with a company called ETI Finance for $50,000 on top of the money that was already paid. Can you tell me about the $50,000 that was allocated for the repairs? And he said, well, I did get the money, but I didn't spend all of it. Today, that clubhouse is still not completed. And so when I started getting bad debts, bad collections, I pushed them back to Century and said, wait a minute, this is not our responsibility. The people you are in bed with are in bed with you. No board member signed these agreements. So I'm going to push these loans back. And lo and behold, the ETI financial loan of $50,000 to take care of the clubhouse randomly disappeared. I have not got one debt collection for this $50,000, but if you look at the monthly general ledgers from 2024, they were getting paid $7,000, $9,000 a month on this non-existing loan. So I'm like, well,
wow.
send me the loan paperwork. They just completely shut down.
I'm sorry that you've already had almost 7 minutes.
Oh, sorry. I apologize.
But wait just a moment. I think you need to go see our Attorney General or somebody.
Yeah,
'cause that's
we had
criminal.
an issue where the
That's
board
criminal.
member closed the board account and took well over $30,000 after I came on board. I contacted the Fayette County District Attorney.
Right.
They sent an investigator to the bank and forced them to give us the money back. Now, this person has a long criminal history and is now under probation. So what I'm seeing is that historically, Century Management Company takes those with mental health challenges and drug addiction. And so they give them 5 or 6 small little incremental payments to hush them up. But Century literally is the board. So I just wanted to paint a little different picture of how a management company versus an HOA. So now we are a self-governing HOA, and as it stands, within 6 months, I've been able to cut back all our finances, and we are now at $96,000 of savings. We had false Georgia Power connections. They were still in Georgia Power. The city of Fayetteville, I met with the directors on the water department. They gave us $7,000 worth of credit. We now have legal power in our community. City of Georgia Power came out and gave us about 8 poles. So these are the discrepancies, and I believe federal racketeering charges that should be looked at, and the FBI should be taking a look at Century Management Company and any board member who's egregious enough to stand on the side with no integrity and take that kind of money from a community. So thank you, members, for the opportunity.
Did you give us this in writing?
Pardon me?
Could you give us this in writing?
I can.
I
I
have
have
about-
documents, I have the bank statements, I have the ledgers that I've been looking at. I'll be happy.
You
to
can
share.
summarize that and
Yes,
you can
ma'am.
say,
Yes,
you know,
ma'am.
what you have, but we
I
have,
do.
we have a lot of,
Century
a
stepped
big
away.
stack of.
Century stepped away
claims.
and terminated themselves, but they sent me a letter saying, if you promise not to sue us, we'll give you this amount of money. And the money they wanted to offer me was $2,500 for 17 years of misappropriation.
This is, Senator,
Any questions?
yeah,
You need to really write it down. This one.
20, which one?
Send it to Attorney General's office or send it to us, we'll forward to you. That's to be investigated.
Absolutely, it
That's the
does.
only way you can, somebody-
Absolutely.
That's what you told me, this stealing, if somebody does that,
Yeah.
they need to be,
And then a
Pretty
bigger
soon.
concern is marginalization and gentrification. The changing different demographics in that community are now marginalized, what we call marginalized people, and an aging population. Our oldest resident is 91 up into 70s. These people don't have the fortitude to fight on this level.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Okay.
what you're doing.
We have only 2 more short questions.
I just had a
Viola and-
question. You were talking about the management company, and I do believe they fall up under the Georgia Real Estate Commission. Did you file anything with them?
I have not. What we did was hire an attorney, and I put all my eggs into one basket into this attorney, and it has literally turned around to bite me in the butt for the lack of communication. So now the board is pressing, let us expand our borders to find an attorney that can fight a criminal component, a defamation component, and a HOA component. So it's costly and time consuming.
Yes, yes, it is. Okay, and
Any more questions?
yes, one more.
Yes, ma'am.
13.
And went to that illegal drugs. I'm hoping that you call the police because some of this is purely criminal and legislation isn't going to resolve
Yeah.
that. And
I called, and what the police said is that they don't have a warrant, so they can't enter anybody's home. So they have to see it in order to intervene. And they advised me, I advise you, ma'am, to carry your gun in this community. So that's what I have to do when I walk around. But the police would not address any of this. They did come out when there was some things being victimized, when the money was stolen. But as far as the illegal drug use, they can't do anything unless they see it or catch it. They cannot enter a person's home, is what I was told. But you have people that on both sides of a senior citizen, and her house smells just like dope, and she can't do anything about it. So that's the thing. So my aim is to restore and revitalize the community with some local grassroots, raise the threshold of what we're getting when we sell it, and move on.
Okay.
Are on these real issues. Yeah. The record, and I'll try to sue the property manager again. They're gonna get an attorney that we will be paying for.
Thank you. Okay, Margie McLeod, and then after that, it will be Rosalind Grigger. And who else was can y'all kind of, everybody who's here about rent control, come sit close to Margie so we can and so you'll get, since so many people are joining you, it'll be 10 minutes instead of 5. And we're gonna have to cut off at that time. Somebody back there, oh, come on up. Everybody can't talk 10 minutes. She's gonna be like the spokesperson. And if someone has a different opinion about this, then they'll come up and have time. Go ahead, please. Thank you.
afternoon.
Yes.
Donzella James, I thank you. 2 years. 2 years we've been fighting this battle for rent control, to put a cap on the rent. And that's the solution, because we have a crisis. We must put a cap on the rent. I could go on, y'all see the crisis right under them bridges. No, they're not there yet. They remove them. But we don't put a cap on the rent, we could do it. When I kept hollering at y'all saying California did it, rent control, we could do it too. So it must have a cap on what will happen. Schools is closing, small business is going out of business, children in family children service, we don't even know how many numbers that the children have in foster care. And that's just not there. Then you got car house. You got people living in their cars. We don't have enough housing. I'm not gonna say affordable housing, because $1,500 and $1,800 is not affordable, because we got greedy landlords. It's increasing. And now that 404 bill that they passed is helping the people get evicted in 3 days. So that bill need to be amended. Because if you don't amend that bill, you're gonna still have that same problem.
Which bill is that?
That was House
39?
Bill 44.
Yeah,
that
404.
They passed it. Everybody passed it except 2 people. Senator Donzella, you did not pass it. But that's helping them to evict the people out of their apartment in 3 days or 7 days. Now, the count them went down because all the people been evicted. We have people that under the bridges, handicapped, you got seniors was under there. We got family was in there. We even had people with newborn babies as under the bridges. They're not. The solution is we have a crisis. The solution is we must put a cap on the rent. I was wearing this shirt. I'm tired. I took it off. And when people see it, yes, this is what we need. We need a cap on the rent. This is what we need. We need a control of the rent. And y'all say it can't happen. I'm telling people, call your governor.
Okay,
Call your governor, and you need to put a cap on the rent.
I agree with you, but we have a law in Georgia that stops any rent control. You can't have it's a prohibition against rent control. In order to pass something about rent control, we have to abolish that law. And it's constitutional, so it's 2/3 of the vote of the people. So we'd have to vote for that first, to lift that bill out of Georgia. And then it'd go on the ballot and the people have to concur with that. And then at that time though, all of the different municipalities and counties will be able to, I guess, control their own destiny by whatever they want to pass under those smaller groups. But most, like you said, that it has happened in most of the big cities around the country, they didn't have that prohibition. But that doesn't mean we're not trying. We did introduce Senate Bill 106, and it's still in committee. And because we have a lot of landlords who were against it. And I know I was a landlord for a long time. I never had problems because I was fair to everyone. And when my late husband went to heaven, I liquidated all of that. But all those years, we didn't have any problems because we treated them like, as long as they paid and kept the house. And that's what we encouraged. And so I think, we may have been a family mom and pop type, and we wanted everyone to be comfortable in their homes. But everybody's not like that. So we do, as you said, and you've been fighting so hard for it. Everybody looking at your shirt now because they want one of them.
Well, they call me the rent control lady, and I'm all over the city. I'm at the city hall all the time because I'm not going to take no, because we could do this. If California could do it, people move here. Now we moving out, they going overseas. So we must, I'm talking to all of y'all. We got to do this because your people is not in your district because they're out under them bridges. So that
Margie.
404, I'm
And you
serious.
don't live in an apartment.
No, I
You
don't,
always
and
live
I'm
in a house. You're
serious.
a veteran.
I'm a
uh,
veteran, and
for
it's not
20
about
years,
me, it's about the
never been a-
people. And the people got to do it. Y'all got to make phone calls.
We
They'll
are doing
Republican and Democrat.
We
Everybody's
thank
hurt.
you. We thank you for all of your hard work, and we are not going to forget you. How many people were with her? Because we have to. Can you raise your hands? Can you stand up? The ones that were pro, that know that these that know that so many students came to some of the others, because when it's time for them to renew their lease, it's either double or triple or quadruple. Can you believe it? They don't even fix up the apartment. They don't splash any paint on the wall. They just change the cost. And especially in downtown Atlanta or in some of the other major cities, in the metropolitan 18 counties. So it's not just Atlanta, it's all over. So I know you got on your rent control, so Margie spoke for you already, right? And what about you two ladies? Uh-huh. On rent control? Can we have to do it because we have two people, where are they? Rosewind Greer. What? Say it again? Okay.
You'll be next.
But you're not, yeah, you're HOA, correct?
Yeah, I gotta put my grandbaby up. I'm sorry, I didn't realize it was gonna be so long, so I appreciate it.
It was supposed to be from 1 to 4, believe it or not. We didn't want it to be as long either, but we want to hear from everyone. We want to hear from everyone.
Well,
Mhm.
y'all can always come back to your meeting
Mhm.
because of the people had a lot to say and they are saying some bad things.
Mm.
I will come back to the next meeting. Plus, I have some great representatives for my district here, and I can directly call them to let them know why I am here. So thank you all for what all y'all are doing. I'm very proud of you all. Y'all keep up the good work.
Thank you.
And, I have,
Come get your car.
uh,
And the young lady next to you, you were with Margie or with her.
thank you, Kim.
Can you give me your names? Cause we gotta,
I'm Dr. LaWanda Falandi.
oh yeah.
I will see you soon.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, okay. You put their name down, Tamlin. Okay. And my world changes, sister.
Oh, yes.
God bless you. Can you?
Bless you.
Were you speaking on rent control? And then we have one other after you. Go ahead. 'Cause
Greetings, you all.
Thank you.
I'm just here on a mission. I don't do no shucking and jiving, playing around. I'm a cotton picker, a mule that I plowed in the fields in the back of the day. It's over for playing games. I was born on the 4th of July, and these are my colors every day. And it means justice. It's time for justice, people. I sit with Daddy King for 18 years, senior. And one of his messages was to all of us is to love, and we must help one another. It's time to cut the chase. If people don't want to do fair to you, there's another way. And that is to get your paper together and do a class action suit. We are the family of the late Madam C.J. Breedlove Walker. And we are the biggest farmers in the South. We worked it hard for what we had to get. Yes, I've been abused and beat down and scorned, but I won't give up the race. I'm tired of keep coming down here. I'm not coming no more. I'm looking at you, Governor Kemp. I'm asking you to do this because when I go out on the streets, 43-year missionary, I'm feeding day and night. I got mothers out there and grandmothers and great-grandmothers. There's a lady that is 92 years old. She can't get housing because she don't have enough monies. Her income is below $800 a month. Where can you go and live? So this got to be done. We are taxpayers. We're the one that pay you all salary to keep your bills paid, to keep your children and grandchildren in schools. It's time for us to receive now. I'm not picking no more cotton for $6 a day. I want what is due to me and my children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren that I am today. Now it's time for you to get with all these children here that sits here on this panel to get it done. Because I'm going to keep these prayers going. I'm not going to stop. My pastor is Warnock. I'm talking to him constantly. And I'm going to get to Washington, D.C. very soon. And I'm going to be talking to both sides, the Republican and the Democrats. Because we got to come together. How are we going to run this country and we are divided? It's time to come together. We are the farmers who had to get out there and work hard for you young people are here today. It wasn't your degrees. It wasn't you because you studied and hard. It because we old people had to get on our knees and work hard and get in the fields and plow the mules, pick the cotton all day, shuck all the corns. We didn't have the equipment to do it with, but we had to do it with our hands.
So wake up, people.
Brian.
Be American people who you supposed to be. Because I'm not going to stop. And I ask the Lord God Almighty to come into this meeting and to shine a light within your heart, spirit, and souls, that you will say yes and be obedient to justice. Because we are God's people. It ain't about color. I have white people in my family, Hispanic, all different nationality of people. But we must pull together as a people and make it happen.
Yeah,
America is a great country.
11 minutes, ma'am.
And we must stand together as a people. God bless you all. I love you. And I am Mother Minister Breedlove.
Yes. Brian? Okay. Apartment Association.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. Good afternoon, and members of the committee and House members as well. I'm Brian Five Ash here on behalf of the Georgia Apartment Association. Our members house over 1 million Georgians, and we're at the forefront of the housing profession. And thank you for allowing me the time. You've been very generous. I think you mentioned that y'all met 5 times. I think we've had a representative speak, so I'll be very brief today. Quite frankly, we agree with the first speaker that we need more housing. That competition provides lower prices. So, and we've looked at studies, and we've had more than 100 years of U.S. history to look at the issue of rent control, and it does not lower cost. We need more housing. Today, I just wanted to go on record that we will continue to work with this committee and other stakeholders on trying to address the important issue of housing affordability. Thank you.
I thank you. Wait, do we have any quick questions? Yes, Senator Count.
6. Thank you, Brian. You mentioned that it does not lower cost, and you have studies that point to that. I would definitely appreciate if you can share that with us. In cities where rent control has been implemented, have there been consecutive years where there has not been increases in rent? Like if you go from 21 to 22, 22 to 23, have there been consecutive years where rent in cities in which rent control policies have been put in place in which rent has not increased as a result?
I think short term, yeah, but I think when they have those rent control policies, people don't want to invest in those communities.
So there, in fact, is short-term relief to renters when rent control policies are put in place. Whether short-term or long-term, there is some relief that is given to residents.
Yeah, and unfortunately, those folks, a lot of time when you have price controls, they don't reinvest back in that property as well when you have those.
So is the answer yes or no? Just to my specific question.
Yeah.
Yes.
Short-term lower. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, so when the economics are bad, whether short-term or long-term, some residents are getting relief in those periods as a result of policies such as rent control.
And I think we've seen that rents have gone down here recently in the free market. Recently we've seen rents.
The rent go down? Where?
They said
Yeah.
recent.
Okay, in Georgia?
Yeah, there's recent reports that rents have gone down, but I'm just trying to get to the point that
Okay.
there are opportunities for relief as a result of these policies. We can argue about long-term impacts, but I'm just thinking from a resident or a renter's perspective. If I get relief over 3 years, sometimes that can make a huge difference in someone's personal economic position.
Mhm. Any other questions? We will move on then. Thank you so much, Brian, always coming, and we want to make sure we get both sides. Yes. Okay. But you didn't, did you sign up?
Yeah, we got to do Ms. Greer's.
Okay, next. Okay, go ahead. Cause you gotta, we gotta pick your baby up.
Grandbaby.
I know how that is. I'm a grandma.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna be real quick and I'm gonna be very honest. My first time at one of these events in 61 years was yesterday. I was not impressed. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm a 100% disabled vet. I own 2 properties and I'm not proud of that. It just happened. I couldn't sell one when I moved out the other one. What I have seen and heard all day is the same stories over and over and over and over. So much that I all had heart palpitations. I had to go outside and take a break. I mean, I'm seriously, how many times do we have to get in here and have these conversations? I am so sorry that we're going through this, but if I look around the room, it's the same people. Yeah. People been here for 4 years. How do you sit up there and think that's okay? I don't understand. I'm not gonna sit here and play Miss Nice Guy, because I'm not gonna do that. Because I'm sitting here enthralled in a legal litigation with the worst company I have ever heard of. Because I decided I'm gonna stand up. My mother was killed by a car in Cobb County. Instead of me being able to mourn her death, her tragic death, because I was the sole care provider. She had dementia, and I know that's a little off the beaten path, but I haven't even been able to grieve her death because I've been fighting these HOAs and these HOA management company. So I'm not gonna get into my story. I've heard enough. I'm sick of me talking about it. But what I will tell you is that I do know this, is that the power always lies with the people. That's it. We put you there. We can take you out. And I don't mean personally, guys, so please don't think I am. And I don't mean take you out like do some harm to you. I mean, sometimes we have to replace old mindsets and people that don't do things that's forward moving. So this is my thing. I'm gonna play. It ain't the HOA management nonprofit association volunteers. Let's get that clear. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
It's the predatory for-profit
Yes.
HOA companies who take over the rights in what the HOAs were made for. I love HOAs. They give us something. But how they're being managed through these predatory companies, we need TPOs. We need to have a protection order against these HOA management companies, because with these folks, you do 2 things. You take their power or you take their money.
Okay.
That's it. So there are no lawyers for us. There are no lawyers for owners who own property. And I'm gonna tell you why. The disparity in numbers is 60-1. I've called 40 plus lawyers. 40. There is no way we should be doing this for 4 years. You feel me? So, and I know I'm not gonna sit here and I don't mean no disrespect, ladies and gentlemen. Please know that. But I am freaking tired. I don't know, but it seemed like this the where the energy is not really where it's supposed to go. Because the skin color, I know we're saying it don't matter, but it does. And I think, unfortunately, because we're not looking at that as being realistic, that we're using these make-believe solutions. They don't work. If you cut the head off the snake, where it go? Peace is restored. So I'm telling you this, I'm saying, guys, listen at this. If you eliminate, Florida already trying to do it. They eliminating the HOA associations. We don't need the HOA associations gone. We need them revitalized to work. So there be no need for management companies to come in. This is the single most important expense of our life. We work for this. We tell our kids about this. So you ain't just leaving this for us. You leaving it for your kids, kids, and everybody else. Because you people, us together, we have to put this in proper perspective. It is not the HOA associations, the nonprofit volunteers. Okay? Let's get that clear. Okay? We are getting the HOA. Listen, I'm not saying that they are exempt. I'm saying that the majority of the issues are from the for-profit. They don't get paid if we don't pay fines. They don't fight us in court if we ain't got no fines. How you gonna find somebody for an okra tree? How you gonna find somebody for a sign that says "Welcome to America"? It's ridiculous. I got a fine last week. And I'm gonna go for leaving my garage door open too long.
30 seconds left.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You mean to tell me?
CPOs are needed for the management companies. You put some halts on their booties, and you watch what happens.
Let me ask for clarity. Did you say you got a fine for leaving your garage?
Let me
door?
rephrase that. I got 6 notices in 1 year, and I didn't get one welcome package from this particular company. I got 4 years of water damage from the other company that I'm fighting in litigation right now with their lawyers. I have no lawyer. I've been pro se since I've been pro se in Superior Court twice, Magistrate Court once, and Cobb County don't have no lawyers. I've tried Lieberman, Mr. Miller, hundreds of them. They just don't represent us because there's no money in it. We ain't got no money for the lawyers. We paying the fines. So I'm saying, if y'all gonna do something, it really needs to be with the HOA management company. Cut their heads off. The money ain't there, they gone.
Our attorney you want to speak to what she just said, please? She's Cobb County and she's an attorney.
Oh, she's Cobb. Thank you, Cobb. I thought you wasn't represented.
Woo-hoo.
I'm with the management companies. My experience has been, because I serve on my HOA board, the management company does what the board tells them to
Well,
do.
okay.
Let me finish.
Okay.
We have a contract with them that's negotiated, every year. If ours just happens to be CMA, if we're not happy with something that they're doing, we have to go back, renegotiate, and go forward and things like that. But what I have found is that they kind of follow. If you're not that invested or really doing too much, they tend to do their own things. Unfortunately, even in my county, I've been on the board for several years. We're probably on our 6th property manager. Because they come and they go and they get fired, and that gets, quite tiring. But as it's that regional manager more than the property manager that the board really has to stay in contact with. And I'm just telling you my experience.
Right. Well,
that's where the consistency.
Yes, ma'am.
So like, if you want to talk, offline, fine. Our subdivision.
No, I want to talk online.
It's way too big to have
Okay, so listen.
To have a self-governing body. So we have to have a property.
I think he was asking me a question, though. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Okay, so listen here. I understand about personal stuff. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about collectively.
No, I'm not talking about
okay, so listen.
Stuff at all.
I understand that the HOA managers, I understand this, guys. I've been fighting these people since 2021. Okay, so let me tell you here. I wasn't able to get any help like everybody else in here. I did it myself. How I do it myself? Because the internet has gave us a good playing field. When the lawyers are absent, you go to Google. I did it. So the HOA management company are only as strong as the board is weak.
Correct.
That's it. It don't matter that your particular house or areas.
I basically said to you, I'm on my board.
Yeah, but I'm
not.
not.
And the CMA and the management company that we work with.
Okay.
They're supposed to follow what that board says. So now, if you're not on your board, I don't know why.
I don't want to be on the board. I just want it run properly.
And that's fine. But your management company should still be responsive
to
you.
Okay, I'm sorry. Listen, I'm gonna. I just got 30 seconds because
I apologize if I'm misunderstanding.
I can't do it. So listen here. I'm gonna stand tall on what I just said. You understand? It don't matter where you live. If you live in an HOA today, tomorrow, next year, if your kids live in one, your grandkids live in one, this is what they're going to get. So my thing is, we're fighting the wrong enemy. The enemy is the HOA companies. That's who the profit is going to. That's who I paid $297 for 1,000 square feet. And I'm fighting half of that. I didn't pay half the lawyer's salary. It's not right. And it's not just like, forget the HOA companies. We should follow suit with Florida and get away with the HOA companies. Just get them out. Just get them out.
Okay, thank you.
I thank you. Thank you. And,
Just get them out.
and we don't want to just be meeting to be meeting. We've been working. It's just that we're in the minority.
I
I'm
no
in the
dis, I
minority.
mean, no dis, I know, we all in the minority, that's the issue.
The wise too, and
Listen, I respect
work.
everybody up there because it takes a lot to handle this. And I'm just saying, like, I'm a citizen too. And I have a house and I want to live in peace. And they are trampling on my right to quiet enjoyment.
I agree.
That is that is a right that owners have, the right to quiet enjoyment. You cannot get right to quiet enjoyment with predatory people like that. It's impossible. They have no checks and balances. They have all the power, all the money. And meantime, the Georgia owners are paying all the bills. So it ain't no committee gonna be to tell me nothing after the day unless it's something that's done. The committee we need is right behind here. So anybody want to get with me, holler at me, because this right here, we can't do 4 more years of this. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank you. Amy McCoy, please come forward. Okay. And as you come up, let me say, it's 3 o'clock and we have 15 more people. So if somebody's name is on here and you want to give us just something in writing, we'll take it, or I will meet with you and make sure you give us something in writing as well. Thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you very much, representatives, for being here today and opening the floor for us to be able to speak. I have testified before you guys multiple times as a housing advocate, specifically a fair housing advocate. So I do have solutions on the rent control that I'm happy to share with you as well. But when it comes to actually oversight for the homeowners association, this is something I'm advocating even on a federal level, because a lot of these management companies do not only go beyond the borders of counties, but also states. And it is a mechanism that is used to remove certain demographics from communities through unfair practices through financial recording. As the former chair of federal finance and housing policies, which oversees FHA, USDA, VA, and things of those sort. When we're talking about true home ownership, when you're able to buy into a community like a condominium or a townhouse, most of the time that's the most financially easier way to get into ownership. Well, a lot of that is being barred due to mismanagement through finances. You don't have proper insurances on properties. I have witnessed during COVID-19 when seeing a African-American community that was living in deplorable conditions out in DeKalb County. I personally, on my own dime, flew to Israel to making sure that those owners paid their taxes and paid their HOAs. Yes, I walked away with 60 new clients, but many of them I didn't walk away with, but I did make sure that they paid those debts. But going through that process, I learned how many communities were being taken advantage by their HOA presidents, who were attorneys themselves, and just devaluing communities in order to buy those properties at lower amounts, being able to foreclose on those properties, things of that sort. So I've seen firsthand what has happened. I have personally paid and calling people's bluffs in order to save assets for homeowners who were being predatory against. So again, I want to speak up in regards to homeowners, that there needs to be oversight. It is desperately needed. Again, we are gentrifying communities just through the taxations of HOAs. And that needs to be wheeled in very quickly. Or even for myself, I'm getting penalized on frivolous things. For instance, not turning in with my name, a telephone number, and email address, all the communication ways that they were able to communicate with me, saying I didn't turn in a form, and that was $1,200. So it's ridiculous that we have to go through that. But my last comment that I'm going to ask along with the oversight is, Also on the closing letter statements, as a realtor, that is one of the biggest things that we do see when we're talking about transferring ownership of properties. When it comes to just a closing letter, it's just simply printing off a statement that's turned over to the attorney. You're seeing that that should probably be more of a $10. It went to Governor Deal's desk before and it was vetoed that day. But that should be no more than $10. But we're seeing those being at $250 or $600. Just again, hitting a printing key. So these the fees that we see are egregious. And so I ask that you add those to the bills that you are working on. And I thank you for your time.
And can we have the rent control suggestions that you say you have?
Yes. So
Okay.
thank you for asking that, and I'll make that quick. Again, as a fair housing advocate, I've lived in a lot of different countries. I've lived in a lot of different states here across the United States. And so I have seen that there are mechanisms that can be put in place. For instance, just in Geneva, I was just there this past May. In Geneva and most European countries, they build for centuries. Here in the United States, we build based on a 20 to 50-year lifespan on a property. It's how cheap we consider things. However, when you are, as a homeowner, you have to be able to supply documentation to the government with your rent increase. Okay. And there has to be substantial work done in that property in order to claim why that rent increase is necessary. As someone who, helped form the advisory committee for the Atlanta Housing Authority. It was taking them into the 21st century. It was looking at how do we make vendors accountable for their assets, just like the recipients accountable for the property. And it was actually having those roundtable discussions in order to make sure that we are making it equitable in that process. And in doing so, that's now how a lot of federal funds were now coming back in order to house many of our residents that are under the bridges, as they say. And for me, I rent out one of my garage apartments to a lady who only pays $600 because she only gets $900 a month. I don't receive any subsidies and I pay more in taxes than what her rent can even afford. So it's a constant battle, but there are mechanisms that can be put in place. And I'm happy to sit at the table with whomever would like for me to sit there in order to help create those solutions for it.
I look forward to working with you and getting some real good, strong legislation this time.
Absolutely.
And then getting it passed. I need everybody in here because you need to call people, call the ones on the committees that will serve as with the particular bills that we're going to introduce. We're going to try to keep a minimum too, and not 10 bills. And that's why all of us are here. So we have different bills. We'll consolidate when we can.
Absolutely.
But we need people like you and others who Mr. Payton plays back there and everybody else.
When he told me what he was going to do, and I'm ready to help join in that fight with him. Again, I see this as a national cry, but we'll definitely be here to make sure that the state of Georgia sees it go through.
Senator, I know we got a few minutes, but go ahead.
Something you just mentioned a few minutes ago is that you can just print something. There's some company. What that fee is, like saying some companies paying like $250, whatever it is. What for that?
Well,
I just want to.
Yeah, that's the closing letter fee.
Oh, okay.
So when
Oh,
when you go to transfer your property at closing, the attorney has to get a documentation that says what your balance actually is, and that's what that is, and that's typically just printing.
I thought it was like $25 something. You're saying some people charging $250 or something?
$250,
That should be-
$600.
That's something. I'll look into it. Please,
Yes.
I'll give you my
The Georgia Association of Realtors has put that bill multiple times. for
Yes,
people, and it made it all the way to Governor Deal's desk, and then he vetoed.
I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You know Senator Gail Davenport.
I do. She wrote my letter for me to get into college 20 some odd years ago.
Well, good. She sits right there with us.
Yeah.
And keeps us informed, but she said that she wants to look at all these bills before we even drop them into the hopper.
Outstanding. Thank you very much.
Thank
ladies and
you.
gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank you. And we have how many more people? 17 in how many minutes? 20, 30. Okay. Who's that?
If everybody speak 3 minutes, that's 45 minutes.
Okay, Sonia Lynch and then Mary Kelly.
everybody.
Hello. Hello.
So I have to say that my name is Sonia Lynch, and I live at the tributary of New Manchester in Douglasville.
Mhm.
And I have to say that this is only my second time coming to something like this. Really, I didn't know what to expect today. I will say that I did not know that the process of getting a bill or something like this passed was so intense and would possibly and could possibly take so long.
Yes.
Which to me, it's kind of, it wears me out just thinking about it. Okay. Because on Tuesday, I think I told those of you that were there, I told my story about how my husband and I had a contingency letter that
Mhm.
we moved into a HOA community where they were supposed to replace our windows. They didn't replace them. A storm came, and the storm came through the second story window, went from the second story of our townhome to the first floor, from the front of our house to the back of our house. We weren't even home. So
Mm.
when we came home, our house was just saturated.
Mm.
So since that time, and I could not produce that letter because my house was saturated and no one came to help us. So we had to get that water up and move things around. And in the meantime, the letter got lost.
Hmm.
Even though the manager knew, the HOA manager knew that he gave me a letter, he denied it. For 5 years, he denied
That's
it.
what she.
And I found the letter. He put in windows, but he put in windows on rotted frames. So my house today still smells like mold. Okay, that's my husband right there. When we first moved in, my husband was sick. I was busy. My husband had kidney cancer and he had malignant hypertension. Okay, I was busy. Too busy to have to deal with with water damage. The thing that bothers me the most is that last night at one of our meetings that we had last night, and these ladies were there with us, I brought it up to this man, because he's still there, even though I have proven to them that he's a liar. And yes. So I brought it up. He got so mad that he jumped off the seat that he was sitting on, and he came towards me, okay, to do me harm. This young lady right here stopped her, okay?
Thank you.
Now, that was in front of the board members.
Nobody called the police?
Oh, no. Call the police. No, not on him. Bite your tongue. Are you kidding me?
My son works in law enforcement in Douglas County. You should have called
Yes, I
in the
understand.
solicitor's office.
But my thing is, how much longer do we have to look? I'm retired. And I tell people this, I ain't got nothing but time on my hands. If you need for me to pick it, I'll do it. If you need for me to stand on the courthouse steps, I'll do it. You need for me to canvass the area, I'll do it. Okay? I'm ready to go to jail. Okay? Because let me tell you something. I'm 66 years old. If they give me life, what I got, 10 years? I got 3 hots in a cot. As long as Big Shirley mind her own damn business, I'm good. Okay? But I'm
Wait a minute, we're not gonna talk about that because age, we don't say age in here.
But my
Thank you.
point is, I'm tired.
I know what you mean.
Spend the extra money that I have every month coming down here telling a panel the same story. A lot of these stories, I heard them Tuesday. Okay, so what is this about? Something repetitive? Okay, let's listen to the stories. Let's take them in. Let's convene. Let's figure out what's our next move. Okay, because
That's what we do.
I don't want to do this. Like the young lady said, it's hard to find an attorney. When you do
Correct.
find an attorney, their fee is so exorbitant. You might as well just move. But just like somebody said with the rent control, if you do move, and let's just say you're lucky enough as a senior to find an apartment that you can afford, well, when that lease runs out, guess what? You may not be able to afford it. Okay? So you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. So who does the fault lie on? Does it lie on the HOA board where people can, like Sally, all she does is bake cookies, but she's the secretary. Okay? And then you got this guy over here that's the president, and maybe he cuts grass. Okay, they're only doing this because what? They want to put it on a resume or something? You know, but when it comes down to life, me living in a healthy environment, okay, not being afraid to say something to protect myself, my property and my husband, then they could just reconvene behind closed doors and say, you know what? Let's start charging her stupid little fines. And when those fines get to $2,000, we're gonna put a lien on her house. Okay, and if she sends in the money, we're gonna send it back. You know why? Because there's no regulation. And I don't understand.
That's what we're here for.
States of America, okay, in Georgia, where there has been slavery, there has been every damn thing that could possibly happen to a minority has happened.
30 seconds, ma'am.
We have something like this going on where we still asking damn permission to live decently? Are you serious? We should be beyond this point. No, we can't do this. So you have my name and number? Okay, call me. I'm available. And that's all I got to say today.
Thank you, but let me tell you, that's why we're meeting, so that because there's no oversight and people are losing their homes. And one of our members want to say something?
I want to say, I'm glad that you're okay, but I really think for your meetings next time, you shouldn't even have one unless the police are going to be present.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I was saying, I'm happy that you're okay, but there have actually been incidents where people have been injured at some of these meetings. And I really think that next time as a group, you guys should call your local police department and make sure there is a presence there. Because anybody can carry a gun, anything can happen. Yeah, oh yeah. Because that has happened, that's actually happened. And you don't want to see that happen to you or anybody else that's attending one of those, attending one of those
The manager
meetings.
wanted to get at me last night because he tried to have me arrested at a.
Oh, my goodness.
Because he didn't want me to tell our community what he had done to us.
Yeah.
And that's what he was upset about. But wait a minute.
Let me say,
Question I want to ask.
You think it's too late to file a police report about?
No, it's not. Please file it immediately. But also, I think that you have a great commissioner, chairwoman, and 2 times I told,
Jones?
she's great too.
Okay.
But no, I'm talking about the chair, which is Dr. Ramona Jackson Jones. And she has 2 people working under her. One is for community affairs. Her name is Tiffany something. Tiffany. And then it's another is your person is your commissioner Jones, Kenna Jones? She is? Okay.
It was her meeting last night that I was at.
Good.
Yeah.
Because you know what? She needs to know that you were threatened or whatever. She needs to know this because she doesn't play either. I talk to her all the time. So, and they have tried to work with the legislature on everything. So you got 2 good people, and you got Dahlia.
Yeah.
The
district attorney.
district attorney, Dahlia.
I can't think of her last name.
Anyway,
Yeah.
that's 3 people who would not tolerate some of these things that's going on. And I can get with you if you want me to make sure you talk to them and tell them and bring your
My neighbors.
neighbors there too. I represent
Douglasville.
Tributary.
Yeah, okay.
I used to go over there beg for votes and didn't get there.
Well, you got 'em.
But I've been there a long time, and other problems were going on there that don't exist anymore.
Oh,
So we
that's
did
good.
make progress in that area, especially after we got Dr. Ramona Jackson and then the mayor of Douglas County. You're not in the city limits, but she's right there with us and looking at different things as well. You live a few blocks from Tyler Perry? You know, they over.
He's up on the hill. No, he's not up there anymore. He sold the move. But
He's
yeah.
still there.
You think so?
Yes, he voted in the last election a few weeks ago. So yeah, I think so. And his people don't like it. And plus he did the Lion Gate right there. That's his too. So we have some people that we know that we could talk to and make this happen. And your sheriff. Okay, I know him very well too. So I look forward to, you gave her my number, right? My cell number?
Yeah.
We got the paper. We just, no, you didn't. Okay, the next person, how many people were gonna speak on her same issue? No, on her, yeah, from tributary area.
I'll speak today.
Okay, all right.
October 21st.
Okay, all right, we can talk if you want to call me, either Diego or Miss Dory right here. They'll make sure I get the call, and I want to hear from you. I want to talk to you. Okay, thank you. And hi, thank you for being here.
Thank you. I'm Mary Kelly, and
Miss
I'm
Kelly.
with the Heritage Club Homeowners Association in Kennesaw, Georgia.
Okay.
I attended the meeting on Tuesday. That was the first time that I attended one of these meetings, and I was very encouraged and enlightened by what I heard, so I am back today.
Very good.
And I just want to make a couple of very quick points and
Can we
some
do it?
recommendations. The first one is my concern about the management companies.
Mhm.
And I think Mr. Shepherd
Oh.
spoke.
Excuse me. Okay. Thank you.
And I am in Kennesaw, Cobb County, by the
Mhm.
way. And
And
Mr.
she's
Shepherd-
Cobb, County, several, yes, go ahead. I have some Cobb too.
Oh, you do.
Austell, Mapleton, Smyrna,
Yeah.
Myriad,
No.
and a little sliver of the Vinings.
For a very brief period with all of the boundary changes, I think you were our representative for a few months.
I was.
Look
yeah.
forward to working.
Thank you. Thank you.
But Mr. Shepherd pointed out about the more oversight for management companies. Our company is CMA. And all I can say is that CMA has been the manager there for 20+ years. I've been there since 2004, and they became the management company shortly after that. All I can say is that sometimes that the companies remain there because the boards are weak, and the boards are supposed to be in charge, as someone pointed out earlier. However, they defer to the management companies because over a period of time, it's incestuous after a while. That's the best word I can think of. And people begin to benefit by working with those particular companies, and they stay forever and ever and ever. One of the recommendations that I have is that you require an update of the bylaws every 5 years.
Okay.
And that should be mandatory.
Update.
Number one, because we have, our bylaws speak to an annual meeting.
Mm-hmm.
However, those annual meetings, we have not had one in our community in 11 years.
11 years.
11 years. That's the Heritage Club Homeowners Association in Kennesaw, Georgia, Cobb County. And that is because we have not been able to get a quorum. There are 400 homes there, and we've just not been able to reach the threshold, even knocking on doors and whatever. So what happens is, if there is not a quorum, we cannot hold an official meeting. Therefore, the board that's in control reappoints itself, and the cycle continues. And that has been the situation for 11 years. So a bylaws change would probably speak to that issue. However, you can't do that without a quorum. Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
I have a question. So that's more like community engagement, or so how do you get the word out or educate your community on in reference to elections, or because I live in an HOA too, so I'm just trying to figure out how do you engage your own community in reference to wanting change or wanting something different within your own community?
Last year, we tackled or attempted to tackle that by forming what we call blocks, and then having a subcommittee of the block captains. And we knocked on doors, we walked, we called, you name it, we did it, or attempted to do it. And we came this close to having a quorum. And we're working even harder this year to make sure that happens, because there are some things that just need to happen, need to change, and only we can change them. And we are, I guarantee you, working to see that that happens. And again, that speaks to the repeat board membership. The board continues
Wow.
to do exactly what it is they want to do, or what the HOA wants them, I'm sorry, not the HOA, but what the CMA wants them to do, and they do just that. But I would hope that you would consider that requirement, that bylaws are updated every 5 years,
I
period.
think that the suggestion at the meeting where you went on yesterday with Senator Brass, the director that was there and gave recommendations to put an office in her, what is it, Secretary of State, what's the name of this?
Under her auspices?
Securities and Business. She talked because she's a nonprofit. She's over nonprofits for Georgia. But she said that every year you give a new one instead of every 5 years.
And that would be great. And and I think if you make it mandatory, because we have the right to do that now, but it's not done because
Right.
you can't get the quorum.
It's nothing mandatory now because there's no oversight. And that's why we have so many problems here. And that's why we've been meeting and trying to get something done. And what we wanted to do, now that we see you can't put everything in one bill, in our House bill, we're gonna figure out which one prioritized and which one do we do this year or next year, and which one they do over in the House, so we can work together and get all these problems resolved. But yes, I'm
And,
sorry. Go.
Can I get a copy of what was on the board when we got there? There was, I don't know if they gave handouts or not.
No,
but
they did
just
not.
had
We asked for her to come today or to send us her film, but she didn't. But we got this.
So
This
where
is
can we get a copy of that? Because there were many of the recommendations that were proposed in her report were excellent, and they spoke to a lot of the needs in our community. And if they can get them through the commission under which all HOAs would fall, would be an excellent idea, provided they've got the teeth to enforce. That part two, the enforcement part, is the part that makes the difference. Because we say you've got laws on the books and you've got everything, but the problem is when it comes down to enforcement, the only way they're enforced is if you take them to court. And again, as I said on Tuesday, they use our money to fight us when we go to try and right the wrongs.
And that
can be extremely costly. One of the things I said on Tuesday, and I'll repeat today, is I have been trying to get a look at the books, so to speak, for 2 years now, between $5,000 and $10,000 to do that. And to this date, I still have not been able to see them, but there have been some expenditures that have not been explained, and the requests to explain them have been ignored. So
we also addressed that, and they did not move it out of committee.
okay, well, I hope that you'll follow through on that. And
I mean,
if the penalties come from the bills that you put, and not just the bill, and then the community enforces them, that would be extremely helpful. And the other one might be to require training and some type of
We got
orientation
that.
for all
30
board
30
members.
seconds.
I got
Mayor.
bills right here. You can
When
read.
we
It's
started,
already.
we
yeah.
did that last year when we
But-
pulled together people that we were hoping to run for the board, and we did the training for them. However, again, and we did have a slate of officers, but because we did not have the quorum, we could not move forward. And I think requiring the update of the bylaws every 5 or how many years, enforcing or attaching penalties to whatever bills you may pass, enforceable penalties, and then requiring the training and orientation of the board members, that would go a long way. And keep in mind that the dog, that the tail doesn't always wag the dog, and vice versa. Sometimes the the CMAs or the management companies far exceed the rights that they should have, or the duties that they should have.
Thank you
very much.
Thank you, but the training too, see, do you know?
Ms.
do you
Ms.
know the
Mary.
list of all of our bills that we put in, and then we wanted to look at those today and see if those are the ones you want us to well, we don't have to put it in again because it's not dead for 2 years. So it's still alive, it just hadn't moved. So we want to know if
You know how we feel.
the training and all that is in a bill already. Yeah. And so thank you, because we got those kind of complaints for years, and we were trying to change it.
And what do we have to do again to make sure that that changes. Because as the other lady said, Rosalind, I believe is her name, you know, after a while, you expend a great deal of energy fighting, so much so that
You have to
people
go to
die.
the polls and vote for somebody who
Never
believe in
missed-
you
never
and not
missed
let
an
those
election
other
since
people.
I was 18 years old. I'm now 77, so that's that.
Okay.
All right, thank you all very
No,
much.
and
thank
please
you for
give
listening.
him your information. So if they allow us to share this, we'll be happy to.
Okay.
It's not, I don't think we can yet because the meeting was yesterday and it has to go into the Secretary of the Senate and get approved, and then they can give it to us. Then we can give it to you when we get
Well,
it.
I would definitely like to have a copy as soon as it's available.
All right.
And he does have my information.
Oh, well,
Thank
I think you do.
Yes, he does. All right, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. I'm so sorry too that you're you're having a need to come up here and see us. We are listening. And young lady, come.
Good to see you in action.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, the
Yeah,
committee chairwoman and all the committee members, legislators. My name is Xinyuan Zheng. I'm from Georgia Ag, also called Georgia Advancing Communities Together. We're a nonprofit organization working for affordable housing and community development. We are working with, as Senator Cummings says, we are working with the housing justice leads for a really long time about the rent control. So I
Okay.
do want to provide a possible solution for that because we know that it's really hard to push this bill to pass because we know that lots of landlords oppose it because they're worried about they cannot earn any profit from that. But we want to change rent control to another words is rent stabilize because what we want to avoid is to double or triple the rent but not avoid the landlords to earn the profit. So we saw the successful case in Ohio and Maryland. They set up, for example, if 2024 CPI increased 3%, so the landlords can increase their rent by this CPI plus 2 or 3%. That means the landlord can increase 5 or 6% for their rent. So that avoid to, because your salary cannot increase a lot for per year. That's just the overall.
What state was that?
Ohio and Maryland. They already have that.
But they don't have rent control. We do. And you cannot, it prohibits any rent control, any ratios of how much you can charge and not charge. So that's banned. It's banned here in Georgia. So we have to lift the ban in order to.
Sure.
And that formula you just gave us seems like something that should be very fair and work well, but we can't present it until we get the prohibition eliminated.
Yes, I understand that we do want to. I mean, if we just we want to reply it, the landlords will, oppose it very hardly. But if we say we want to change this to the rent to stabilize, they probably can accept it, or
So we'll change. So we're gonna change the word rent control to what?
Stabilize.
Stabilize.
Yes.
Rent stabilize.
Stabilize.
Okay.
Just let them, at least be neutral.
I understand. And sometimes, because it's when you get in your mind rent control, you oppose it even if you don't know what it does.
Yes.
So I do understand what you're saying, and that has worked on some other legislation too, by changing the name that people, even with the sex trafficking and all, we changed a few words around and we started getting bills passed. That really has cut down on human trafficking. So I get the point, in other words.
Yeah.
But go ahead now. Do you have what you just suggested in writing?
I mean, we can work with the housing just lead or to write a document for you. Would you
Okay.
like to?
And
But I
they don't, they can, we need to have them though, because the session
Sure.
starts the second Monday in January, but we can pre-file on December what? 15th?
December.
So we would like to have looked at that and implemented it somewhere in the one bill that we want to present.
Yeah, sure. We can do that.
All right, thank you very much for your suggestions. And I have worked with your organization in the past,
Oh,
and I appreciate it. Yes, thank you
Okay,
so much.
Thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome. All right, we have next Irvin Saint Bow. Earlene, I see it now. I got glasses on. I think it's your writing, Madam.
Hello, hi. My name is Earlene Saintville, and it's about the same thing, the HOA. It has been an ongoing battle. I flew here from Texas when I heard about it. I have my home here in Newton Crest Circle in Snellville. And I'm pretty much, I'm being forced to sell my home because of the pressure and the fees that's going on. And I requested to get, to meet with the board. I was told that, you know, it was denied. And I asked for transparency as far as the fees. I was told that you're not getting that, and I have all that in writing. So it's been ongoing. I'm not sure what to do at the moment. They have sent
Have a lawyer?
Excuse
Do
me?
you have a lawyer?
Can find a lawyer. I've tried. The minute they hear about HOA, they say, no, we don't work for
I
the
know.
homeowners, it's for the association. And it's just a
Look
lot.
like we need to change the word HOA too to put what stability.
It's like
you
they're
know,
to fight.
You know,
And I feel like they are above the law. I mean, nothing you can do.
but you could take a suit out against them without getting a lawyer, couldn't you?
I can do it.
Can't you get a suit? Take a suit out?
Her on her own.
You have to file it on your own though. We'll talk.
Okay, please, because
Can
I
you
flew
stay
for
here
this,
to- okay.
because this is the first time that the homeowners are being heard. I'm like, okay, I need to come here because at this time they have my account. They told me that the account was sent to an attorney
Mhm.
and they're not talking to me. And I asked for, I was making payments and I was not getting anywhere. And then I asked for payment plans. They'd say, no, I wanted to see the board. No, everything was denied.
Thank you.
And I'm like, what is my right? So I went over the bylaws and they should grant me a meeting with the board. And that was denied as well. And at this
Senator
point, I'm
Lucas,
not
what do you think
sure
about
what I need to do because
Well, hold on. Senator Lucas, you want to?
Let me say this to you.
Mm-hmm.
Squeaky wheels gets the grease. And if people don't organize and get together and address it, we serve, when you look at all of us, our districts are basically majority Black. And what we have to do is serve the constituency that we represent, and the majority of them are minority. But voting, you got to vote. And the reason I said it, look what's going on in the country now. A pedophile brought violence to politics all over again. You got to remember January 6th. People died. And when he became president, he turned all of them loose. So we have to understand, you know, I'm a lot older than you, but we have to understand that if you know what the history is, it gives you the foresight, the insight to have the foresight to change it. And I say it all over again, and I look at young folks getting locked up and this and that, but they're not pulling a lever. And the folks know that. We are still dealing with racism in this country. It hadn't gone anywhere. When you have a senator, United States senator, that talks about privilege for certain folks in this country. But what I will employ to you is to get with the folks your age and talk to them. Are you a voter? You have a way to do it, but you got to show up. You can't do it when 100,000 registered voters in Atlanta and DeKalb County did not even vote in the last election. We have to understand what the history has been about this country. We've seen it before. The election of 1876, Rutherford B. Hayes and Samuel James Tilden. Right after we had the Emancipation Proclamation, and we were free. And Hayes won the election and removed the federal troops out the South. And in Georgia, we had 33 black legislators that were thrown out because of color. We can bring the issue up, but we got to have some help. We got to have them other folks voting. We ain't in the majority. If we were, a lot of this stuff wouldn't be happening. And so what I say to you is that we hear you and understand what you're talking about because you are dealing with it right now. And so you got to do like other folks do, protest, show your side, get your other folks to come with you, because what we have to do is change the way that those other legislators think about a community if they want to be elected. That is what's happening to us. And in Georgia, they drinking Trump Kool-Aid. We deal with it every day, from January to March or April. We are doing our best, but yet and still, we got to have the votes to pass it. And the only way we can get them is those other folks have some sense about what the demographics of that district are. It'll change it.
Thank you very much, Senator. Thank you. Look, ma'am, you need to come and tell us more details. So can she come next week, one day? When is your final time? Because you said they are trying to take your.
Won't nobody answer you, is what they're saying. Basically, they're dictating.
Tell me your county again. You say Snellville? Yeah, Gwinnett, and he just left. He was telling me that he wanted to know more about what you were talking about, but he had to go pick up his son. We're out of session. We came up to have this meeting so that we could find out what to do before we have to go back full time. And so we are working to try to help everybody who is having concerns, some serious concerns too, or to lose your house. Where in Texas are you? And I have some people in Dallas and in Houston that are legislators too. And they have some different things that y'all do there. So I'll try to find time to sit down.
All right, man.
Okay, I appreciate it. Yeah. Thank you, Senator. You gotta go. Okay, Senator Jones, thank you very much for being here. Did you want to say something before you leave? Okay. Thank you. We'll remember. Yes. We got 12 people. What's your name? You way down here. Do you have anything in writing? that you want to go?
Let's see who's still left in the room.
Who's still left in the room who wants to speak? Oh my God. Camelot, who is Camelot? Oh, boy.
You can bring all them up together. Bring all the Camelot people up
All
together.
right, what?
I don't need, I'm fine,
You worked with us before the session, so like in the next week or two, what? Live stream going.
You gonna end the meeting
got
at
it.
4?
Mhm.
Okay. I gave you our contact information. And Danica did text me. Right.
Thank you. I look forward to it.
Perfect.
Okay, thank you.
We have your information.
Thank you.
Wait, you didn't give us your email address. You just gave me your phone number, your name. Excuse me.
How many people is here from Camelot? 1, 2, 3, 3. So 4 people. Okay, and we have to be out of here at 4 o'clock, and it's 3:45. Okay. Okay, who was the next person? Julia?
Oh, sorry. Juanita,
Huh?
Juanita Crowder.
Juanita Crowder. Are you here?
Christina Ponce.
Nina Potts. All right, please have a seat. Oh, okay. Is Mr. Dixon still here?
No, I think that's on.
Oh, my goodness.
Because I don't see him.
He's gonna kill me. Ali?
Thank you guys for
Is it-
being and listening to me today. I don't know if you remember me from last time. It's been a while. But last time I came, I did not have any fines on my own personal account. I came as just a constituent of District 3 underneath Matt Brass, which I was I had no idea they had a meeting yesterday. I got an email and I went to look for it. Tuesday, I apologize. Tuesday, got an email, went to look for it, and it disappeared. It is no longer in my email at all. I don't know how that happened.
Did you
But-
give us all of your information?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, you do have it.
You won't
But
be ignored
I
anymore.
will-
There's one more meeting that he'll have, October the 21st.
I will go speak with him personally and just let him know because unfortunately, I would have liked to be at that meeting to address
Because you have Coweta County,
Coweta County, yes.
and I border you, so I represent everybody, look like, who's been coming up here.
So I was greatly disappointed to see that the bill did not pass and that it was in the right hands for it to pass. And for reasons that we all kind of know, it did not pass. And we, the people, need to represent us, the people. And to your account, when we have people in the government saying that people on Fox News, let me make it clear, saying that the homeless population maybe needs to be euthanized as a form of
I heard that.
corrective measures for the homeless population. I think we need to take this into account. This is very serious. So these legislations and these bills need to be passed to prevent homelessness, to save lives. It is that simple. It is that fundamentally simple. As an American, why can't we have the right over our homes? And what I mean by that is just freedom, true freedom. This organizations that have come to represent the boards and represent the companies and the lawyers, they are all after the money. And we have to wonder at what point where we sit here and we pray, but do we really worry about our souls? Do we really care about the souls of the people of this country? Because I can assure you, when we are talking about euthanizing people, that we must not have a soul. Okay? And I'm just looking at the Senate Bill 108, and I'm seeing that that bill was gutted. It was gutted, and it was years of work for it to just be gutted. When I met with Mr. Brass, Senator Brass, it was one paragraph. Now I'm willing to work to get this bill updated and passed, but there's some things on here regarding Section 4 where we have it. We're gonna go ahead and implement this bill 20. What contracts? These people are living in their homes right now. So this bill is gonna pass, and all the people who are living in Georgia, as of today, will not have, as of July 2025, will not have any rights. The fines. I didn't have a fine last time I spoke with you. My house is, I sent you a picture so you could see that was my house. I wound up getting fined over a bush, over a branch, arbitrary fines, $100 a day. Okay, I just wind up paying $6,500 to have peace. My children were photographed and videotaped nonstop. So I just think that when you speak up and you have a voice, you are attacked. The fact, what needs to be in this bill, when we say assessment, so the word assessment is vague. We need to narrow in and say any fine assessments. Dues are considered an assessment too by the word assessment. Assessment is so broad. So we need to look narrow and say, okay, we can't just arbitrarily fine this person who's saying, I don't agree with this. That's why we need that office. But we need to make sure that the word fine, and we need to make sure that we get every other word that could be used as a fine to arbitrarily go after individuals who do not agree with the HOA.
Okay.
Or having issues, are not being attacked. Because yes, there is racism. I mean, the HOAs were created out of racism. I mean, that's the origins of it. So to sit here and say that, that doesn't happen today, I can guarantee you that does happen. But to prove it is impossible.
$6,500 for a bush.
$6,500 for flowers. For flowers. And let me tell you, that makes you realize where this country is going when flowers. At that point, I knew we were in trouble. Okay.
Okay.
So what I recommend, my recommendation is that we narrow the definition of assessment, or we include that fines, because what happens is people could get fined and they could lose their home over fines, over a trash can, like when somebody said a garage, over a bush, over a branch. They asked me to rectify. I rectified. I sent proof in that I rectified whatever they asked. They still were fining me. And then even to the fact that, of course, I'm responsible for their lawyer fees. It's written that way, that I'm responsible for their lawyer fees. So then that adds up.
They're adding, they said how many minutes? 12 already.
Okay.
But,
I just highly recommend that the terminology is researched and it's very specific, because when we just look at assessment, again, just from my own experience, assessment and fines, a fine is considered an assessment, and you can lose your house over a fine. Okay.
And that's what we're trying, that's what Brass wants to make sure that we do.
Correct.
Get rid of, because now, once you get up to $2,000 worth of fines, they can take your house and sell it on the courthouse steps.
Correct.
And not even let you know. Somebody can knock on your door and say, when you gonna get out of my house, I just bought it. And that's happening. I know, some people think, oh, that's never gonna happen. It has happened so many times, and we get a list of different people that it happened to, but they tell us after the fact. But he's trying to change it. So he has a different bill. What is it? 361. SB 361. He did introduce it this year before we ended the session. However, it was after crossover day.
Okay.
So it couldn't go over to the other house. Had we passed it in Senate,
Okay.
it wouldn't have been able to
I'm gonna
pass.
take a look at that bill, and I will suggest
Yeah,
some
that's the one
suggestions to him.
right away now, because October the 21st in room 450 at 10 a.m. He's going to have his final meeting. So you need to talk to him before then. So if he is writing up a draft
Mhm.
of a bill, that it could include your concern.
And another thing that I come to realize, I appreciate for giving me the information, is one young lady was saying, you know, I didn't get information about my fine. So by law, they are not required. If they fine you, they don't even have to tell you what they fine you for. They could, when you have a dispute with a credit, you know, you have a credit card bill or something, you can say, well, what are you fining me for? What am I,
Okay.
what, you know, proof?
We have
what
to
are you fining me?
stop because we
So
have 5
basically, they
minutes.
have to disclose what they're fining you
Mhm.
for. So you could be fined for something you have no idea what you're being fined for.
I have a question,
Yes.
a quick question. So you basically want us to define the difference between fines, fees, and assessments because they're using all of that to put people.
Everything is classified underneath as assessment. So when I spoke with my lawyer, when I went through this, the reason why okay, so they fined me $100 a day on bushes and flowers. Which was not a fine schedule. So there was no fine schedule that existed. They just picked this number randomly and said $100 a day. I did the work they asked me to, and they still were fining me because guess what? You don't have to, you have to prove in court that you did the work, even though they knew the law. They knew the law. Your question was, I think there should be definition, and I'm not sure if Brass is working on that because that's something I advised them about before. You know, because of the fact that when you say assessment, there's dues, they're considered assessment. Fines are considered assessment. Assessment for, like, say there's repair that needs to be done to the building.
Right.
That's also assessment. So it's all under one.
Time's up. I'm sorry.
Okay, I appreciate it. I'm
We
sorry.
do-
I'm very passionate because, you know,
You say you've written something to us before? 'Cause
I
we
can
don't-
put
we didn't
everything
see it.
together. I don't
Yeah.
have everything
Please-
together.
Please do.
Yeah.
As soon as possible. So,
Okay.
so that, because you got 2 people working for you. You have Urban Affairs Committee and you have Brass's Rules Subcommittee.
Okay.
So that's 2 strong ways to get something passed this time.
Okay.
The session
everybody else
starts the second Monday in January.
Okay.
And we have to probably March to actually pass it. And so time is of the essence, in other words.
And so I would just like to say that what happens is a voice like myself who didn't have a fine then gets attacked. And when you are attacked, it's hard for you to speak up. So for months, I was dealing with this.
Okay, the Camelot people come up here quickly and because we have to leave. You were for Camelot? Are you, oh, come on, come. No, let you and I, okay. Can y'all we already know all the concerns about Camelot. Your name's
be
on
very
the record
quickly.
though.
Yeah, very quickly.
Huh? Yeah, we met with you, huh? Thank you.
Yeah, hey, I knew you looked familiar when I came in. Yeah, I'm Candia Perry, and then we've got 2 up.
Oh, that is outrageous. Okay, you
Yeah,
have 3
okay.
minutes.
Okay, I'll be very brief.
One guy back there came because he was paid 87,000, 57,000. And we had talked to you. Can you come sit right here so we put you in my face?
Yes.
So, okay, you
Okay.
can talk to me. I'll stay a few minutes so we can make sure your concern is on the books. But right now, let's talk about Camelot.
Yeah, so I'll be very brief. I'm sorry. I'm Candia Perry, an owner and resident at Camelot Club Condominiums.
Gloria Estrada.
And then all homeowners. And basically everything everyone's been saying is the same with us. But what a lot of people don't realize is since 2023, we've had 3 HOA board members actually arrested for crimes against our community. So, I mean, but yeah, they were arrested and then they were released. So the most recent is the current president, Tabitha Rose. She was arrested July 15th of this year.
It was in the paper.
Right. And she got out, I think it was like the 16th. And on the 17th, she was back at the community, still on the board, still the president. The board has sent out emails saying we, the board of 2025, 2026, stand behind our president. And of course, I sent out an email saying, no, she cannot remain on the board, but she has. But what a lot of people may not know is, we've got a nearly $3 million water bill as of July, as of August, our water bill. 2.96 million is our water bill. And we've had $2.5 million of insurance money come into our community because of burned buildings. 2020, we had two buildings, we had two fires, which was building 3. One side burned in March. January of 2020, then another one. I could send everything to you.
Please.
But yeah.
Already.
Yeah, I've sent, we've talked with you all. And like they've said before,
But I don't
yeah.
have anything in my hand.
But it's like they've said before, it's so unfortunate that we pay our assessments. Now, I am delinquent, but I have been paying. And then myself and another owner, Camelot hadn't tried to foreclose on any owner since 2012. Since 2012, I think it was.
Does the mayor live over there with them?
No, he moved out in, he moved in, I think it was February of 22, and he moved out in October.
So
he was there
hasn't
like 10
owned
months.
That unit?
No, he was just renting.
Oh,
He was renting and then he moved out. But, the thing is, the city now, because we have no insurance on our property, the city is trying to come in and Attorney Sarah Kelly, the interim city attorney, she's filed a complaint against our community because the city wants to come in and start tearing down the buildings that we've not been able to tear down because we have no insurance. So
Building that was burned?
yeah, we had a fire December 1st, which destroyed half of building 4. Amazingly, there's still people living on the other side. But and then building 9, March 12th of this year, caught fire and destroyed that building. They're also trying to come in after our clubhouse because the boards have just completely allowed it to just be destroyed inside.
So what did they do with the money that they get from the homeowners?
And it's like in 2020 when the first fire happened, I reached out to several attorneys, and one attorney was very upfront with me, and I'd been told that he had been associated with Camelot maybe, I don't know how many years ago, but he said, went through the whole spiel with him. He said, young lady, what's going on at Camelot right now has been going on for 20 years and everybody knows about it. And at $300 an hour, y'all can't afford me. Because he was saying that any attorney that wouldn't go back at least that far would be doing a disservice for us. So that's my thing. It's like everybody knows what's going on. The city knows we've got a current sitting president on our board who has been arrested for heinous crimes against our community, is still receiving money. Yesterday at our hearing with the city, with Attorney Kelly, she was able to pull out of her, the person that's even the lawn care person is her husband. And she said, how much, do you have a contract? And she was like, well, we have a contract, but we're not getting any money. We've got 7 outstanding invoices. So those are just some of the things. I am going to go ahead and send this information to you. And Mr. Diego did let me know that October 21st is another hearing. So I'll send.
But
come back.
it is with the other, it's our meeting?
No, Senator Bassett.
With Senator Brass meeting.
Okay.
But we probably, are we gonna have any more?
Yeah, I just wish there was
They-
more resources for
Right.
owners, especially for situations like this, when is just right there in front of the entire city, the entire state. Everybody knows what's going on at Camelot, and yet we can't seem to get any kind of assistance.
I used to represent you.
Yeah, I remember.
A long time ago.
Yeah, that was before I was in there.
But I still act like I represent you because I'm over there at all those other, from Woods Church, and of course, World Changers. But there's so many members that live in that actual area and in Camelot.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether they're renting because I haven't gotten that far with them. They just tell me the problems. They haven't said whether they're a home owner or whether they're a renter.
I mean, we've got a different set of squatters there. We've got squatters that feel that they're owners
we
as
put a
well.
bill in to stop the squatters. So
Yeah.
we worked with Chief Meadows.
Yeah,
He
he's
came-
no longer.
That is
Chief.
so. That man was working hard with us anyway, and with everybody else in the businesses.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's another story.
Yeah, we
for
felt
another
like
day. I
we were
live
getting
in city,
roadblocked. We were
in the
getting-
city of South Fulton
Yeah,
too.
we were getting, felt like we were hitting brick walls when we tried to
Yes,
deal with
I understand.
Chief Meadows as well.
Really?
Mhm.
So he didn't try to help you?
I don't know. I don't know.
How
I
about
mean,
the
this-
community policing? Do they come there?
They do come. They do come.
Did, when Hattie Cotton Tooks was there, the captain, did she?
I'll be honest with you. Captain Tukes tried to sit down with the board and she wanted to sit down with myself as well. I told her I was readily available whenever. Every time she tried to reach, well, her legislative assistant or her assistant or tried to reach out to them, it was oh, I'm out of town right now. So no one on the board would ever sit down with her, but she did try and have everyone come together in her office. So I applaud her for that.
Well, I'm very concerned that 20 years later, we're still having.
Yeah,
this
and not to mention, I'll just add, since 2020, we've had nearly 40 murders. Yeah.
40
Yeah.
murders
Yeah.
in Camelot or
Camelot. No,
on
in
Old
Camelot.
Nashville?
In Camelot. Yeah. Yeah. Besides murders, we've had either murders or drug-related deaths. Yeah, but we've had 40 since 2020.
Okay, we have to end at
Okay.
this time. Thank you for
Thank you.
coming.
Thank you.
We will look forward to trying to work with you. Maybe we'll have a short 1-hour session before the end of the year.
Okay. All right. Thank
Before,
you.
before the middle of December. See, the thing is that we were supposed to consolidate everything today.
Okay. I want to ask one question. An owner, Grace Sulaco Smith, was emailing you something. Do you know if you received it? If not, I'll tell her to make sure she sends it again if she hasn't. Did you
It
receive?
comes to,
Okay, I will.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
and,
Thank you.
and please use this, the one on this card.
Okay.
And her number's on here too. Okay.
Thank you.
Come up and take his. So I can touch and agree here. Okay, Miss. I'm so sorry.
And I want to talk about you too, by the way. I just wanted to get this on the record. I think it's ridiculous. Ms. James had asked me about, I lived in multiple, I'm familiar with HOAs. I've lived in, you asked me where did I live at? I lived in 2 HOAs in Arizona. I'm from Detroit. I've lived in 3 of those there and 2 in Alabama. I've never seen anything like Georgia. And this gotta happen today, tomorrow, because I've never seen anything like this, and I've handled them. I've spent $57,000 to date
You gotta go.
on their attorney fees. Yet they never talked to me ever, first of all. And I didn't even know they had my phone number until they called about. The lady stopped me when I was moving in. She said she was the former president. She lives right downstairs from me now. And she asked me, was I a renter or owner? What? These are condos. What do you mean, renter? Who asked that kind of question? So I didn't even really answer it. Well, Ray was supposed to tell me, that's the previous owner. Ray was supposed to tell me. They didn't give me any information at the closing. I've been fighting this since October 27, 2017, spending money. They have been trying to take my property for 8 years. The problem they got is that they picked the wrong door because money's not the issue. Because I've worked at GM for 26 years. I worked for the Department of Defense for the last 20 something. I'm a law-abiding, honest, voting, as you mentioned, citizen that have never had any problems. 849 credit score. They've drove my credit score down. I've paid $57,000. And to this date, we're going back to court again. So they lost the first 2 times. I made the mistake of thinking I was an attorney and not just an engineer. And I made the mistake and I didn't get representation. So I was overseas and they filed it electronically during COVID and got a judgment. So they're using that to say and I went ahead and paid the $20,000. In my job, I cannot have I'm a director on top of that. But besides that, even as just a regular engineer, I can't have any debts. That's why my score went up. I wasn't a good one when I was younger, but I got this job now. So they have damaged my score, damaged my credibility, having a hard time. But I've literally spent $57,000 and we're going to court next month again. So we still ain't done yet. Then they just filed another lien because I went to court the 4th time and I showed them, look, I'm paying. They didn't tell me where to send anything, but I'm paying. So the judge threw it out. So they finally got a judgment for $20,000. I just went in and paid it, couldn't have anything. So I've paid now $57,000 and we're not done. We're going back to court next month. And they're trying to take my house for $3,200. It'll never happen, first of all, and I wouldn't say that in front of them because they picked the wrong door. I believe it's associated with other things that they didn't really want me there. I've gone to court 5 times in the last 8 years. I've never had any experiences, any problems with HOAs until I got to this Georgia, this overlook. I live in Marietta, Georgia, which I got the lady's card over here. I live in Marietta, Georgia, East Cobb. And it was like they've been fighting me to take over that property for the last 8 years. So at 57,
Senator that was at the end,
yeah.
you got her.
I got her card because I
Okay.
heard she was, but this is ridiculous in that, and I'm not done yet because we got to go back to court. Now you're trying to take my condo for $3,200. First of all, I'll go get a loan or pull it down from my to retirement and just buy the property. I won't let that happen. But you all have to understand the urgency of this. I've listened to these stories. Thank you very much. You actually were on TV and a friend of mine listening. Thank you very much. He said, you should call that lady, all right? And you call me back. I call your assistant answered and you call me back. I got energy and I got the resources. I'm ready to fight. I want to say, if you heard the Die Hard sequel, I'm the Michael Shelton sequel, okay? With energy and ability, energy and resources. This is crazy. I mean, y'all don't understand how different it is. I heard about Florida. I've lived there. It's nothing like Georgia. It's nothing. And this is from a guy that has moved. She moved me all over. God, I've been blessed and highly favored. The only thing they did was pick the wrong door as far as they think financially. Because when I first got there, they didn't send me any information. They have not talked to me. I've talked to their attorney all the time. I've sent 72 letters and told them, hey, how do I get on auto pay? I travel. They didn't tell me where it went for 4 years.
No.
Now I'm auto pay, and I looked on my thing, and you still charge me attorney fees. For what? Right now I'm up to $3,000 in attorney fees, and that's what they're taking me to court for. Yet on the same ledger, these idiots, I think who called them idiots? These idiots, I looked at their ledger. Wait a minute, you got auto pays for me to this date, and then you got attorney fees. You can't have it both. You can't have it both ways. If I'm paying, why am I getting, what are the attorney fees for? What are you forcing me to do? And I've sent you $57,000 of you paid your attorneys. I had another $12,000 I paid for my attorneys. Folks, every time I get an attorney, most of them can't afford it. I'm blessed and highly favored. Okay, so that $300, the guide I'm just using now. But I did make the mistake. The only thing I made a mistake is I thought I was attorney just because I can talk elegantly and all that junk, right? But the reality of it all is I ain't attorney. I'm an engineer. Let me stay in my lane. So I'm so happy. I'll be here with the energy and the resources to help y'all. If y'all need to push some more voters, go out there, beat the bushes, whatever it takes. But I want to be here for you as energy and to be the sequel to what y'all have been doing for years, to what y'all been fighting. I want to be the energy that diverse and the resource. I don't mind. I will go to my grave over this. Cause
I will be the attorney.
yes.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
You're paying, and they're saying, oh, you're paying? Okay, we had to look at that bill, we're gonna charge you.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a vicious cycle. What is it that the attorney could feed the collection?
Yes.
And then have no collection agency laws that they have to abide by?
And they lied. They told me my check bounced.
That's why they don't show in this book, what is the fine for?
They changed agents, they changed collection places 3 times. And during the transition, 1 month, the old one sent the bill in for $450 or $500, whatever it is, and the other one sent it in. So my bank saw it and they thought it was fraud. So they sent one back. They told the attorneys and took it to court and said it was a bounce. I had $3,000. What do you mean bounce for $500-$600? So they lied and then they got that on the account. So I'm gonna take that to the court.
Sorry, time.
Okay.
Sir.
We have to go, but.
Oh,
But I'm,
2 points.
okay, go ahead.
Connie
Next.
Robinson, HOA Collaboration, South Fulton. I just wanted to add 2 points because I was here on Tuesday and I have also been working with you.
Right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I just wanted to add, when it comes to training and enforcement, if we can look at background checks and some type of
Yes.
background.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because we have people overseeing these boards that don't have a clue. And that's why training is so much needed. And not just for the boards, for the homeowners also, because they don't understand, many of them don't understand, they have a role to play in this. And unless they
are just like showing up here, they have to show up at their meetings. And I understand that most HOAs don't require but maybe one annual meeting. But the bottom line is, okay, if you can't make quorum, you can still have a town hall meeting. You don't just have to dismiss not having meetings at all, because your community needs to know what's going on, what's happening, how can they be involved, and how can they do things differently if they need to make improvements. So those were the only other points I wanted to add. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for living in God's country. City of Southwood. You gotta go now. He lives too. Oh, look.
Yes, ma'am.
You can't, you be on you. No.
You ready?
Oh, we ending. We've ended.
Lady right here.
Just say your name because we have to.
Court, and I am here because one of the things I'd like to see is that before you buy a house, when you go to the real estate agent, they have the house that you want to buy, you must be able to see the CC and Rs. That way, it's transparent. We know what we're getting into. When I bought my house, they told me that it's the fee, the HOA fee at closing is just for the pool and the tennis court. Not so. Before I got the first bill in 2012 from the association, the statement of billing, there was a lien on my house. They have had 4 liens. Right now, they have another lien on it. And yes, I would like to see background checks on the homeowners board members, because we don't know what they're doing. We don't know, we just know what they tell us. So I believe that if I had seen, or many people, if they see the CCNRs and the rules and regulations, what these people can do, they will not buy an HOA. And HOA was started as a racial system to keep Black and brown people out. I would not have bought in something like that. They have a lien on my house. They right now a current lien.
How much?
It's like $6,000 something.
Oh my God, they could sell you.
Now I'm 72 years old, partially blind.
72 years young.
Oh yes, that too.
Thank you. All right. Because you are full of energy and we are going to listen to you. I wish you could give us something in writing so we can,
Get
okay.
back to you because I've been communicating.
Okay, you have been talking to Diego.
Yeah.
They are gonna make us leave right now.
No, it's okay.
So did you
Get
go?
the information to you.
Thank you. Thank you. I do too.
Our community, and I contacted her. She gave us a complete list of different people that they didn't do nothing, but she at least reached out and tried to help us. So I do appreciate that.
Thank you. Yeah, she's awesome. Thank you. Thank you. What?
And my property is a house, it's not a condominium. So I didn't expect all this to happen.
Thank you. The meeting is officially adjourned. Thank you.